The following is a Dowling Catholic sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Coverage of Dowling Catholic High School basketball is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Kemen, Mercy One, and Tamia & Sons. Thank you for supporting Dowling Catholic basketball on Iowa Catholic Radio. 1150 AM, 88.5 FM, 94.5 FM, streaming at iowacatholicradio.com and on the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
And good evening and welcome to the Lincoln Roundhouse on Des Moines South Side as we get ready for boys basketball tonight. It's Dowling and Lincoln in a non-division game in the Central Iowa Metro League alongside Mike Swaim. I'm Mark Amadale. And Swimmer, welcome back. And I see you brought a guest tonight. Looking forward to this.
Well, I figured it was only fitting we come back to the South Side to the greatest gym in the state of Iowa, and I bring a guy who spent 9 years as a head coach here.
Yeah, he spent more time raising you, and that was a handful in itself.
He probably enjoyed being at the Roundhouse more than he enjoyed raising me. But, we're happy to be joined by my dad.
Mr. Swaim, welcome to the broadcast. One of our favorite fans on Tuesday and Friday nights, Mike, and appreciate you joining us here, sir.
Thank you, Mark. It's good to be here. It's good to be back in the Roundhouse.
I know you're critiquing both of us when you're sitting on a beach or in a desert down south, but how's it feel to sit next to a guy who interviewed one young man who's an outstanding golfer at Dowling and tried to get tips on golfing? Did you hear about that interview?
I didn't hear about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, he did, and he's trying to pick up golfing tips, so be careful if you're playing by the hole for dollars. Just FYI. The guys below us know what I'm talking about.
The one thing I always taught him was you win before you ever tee up on the first hole. So it's all about the strokes that you can get out of somebody.
Well, I'm sure they do their best. But, Mr. Swaim, it's a pleasure to have you here, a place where you coached many years along with Des Moines Christian. We can't forget about that. But you come back here. Your athletic director, who was part of your staff, Phil Chia, is here. And I look and I see John Carl Court. I'm looking for the Swaim backboard or the Swaim, scoreboard. I'm kind of looking for that here. I'm looking for that name Shartner, who's another legend in the South Side. But we'll just call it the historic Roundhouse. How'd that?
Historic Roundhouse is great, yeah. John Carl Court, that's a great tribute to John Carl, who spent a lot of years here, was very successful. He's influenced a lot of young men on the south side of Des Moines, and it's a really good tribute to him.
The tradition here at Lincoln, and Mike, you know all about this too, was started by Coach Carl when he got here on his first teaching job from Knoxville, came up here and established the tradition here at Lincoln. This is one of two buildings like this in the state. Marshalltown has the other Roundhouse, and he really established tradition here back in the late 70s and early 80s. Just tremendous.
Yeah, he had some great players during that time. And I think basketball was a lot different back then. So what we see today is a lot more balance. The city schools back in those days were, they were much bigger. When John was coaching, Hoover had not been around that long, and so Hoover did come around shortly after, I believe, Lincoln won their state title. But Lincoln was such a large school that it really helped them, I think. And John ran a program that really trained his players in the off season, and I think that helped a lot as well.
Well, it certainly did, and it certainly established a tradition here at Lincoln. I know Coach Einerson's trying to take that baton that's been handed off many times, as you have found out since you left. And here we are tonight on a very historic night. We have senior night for the Lincoln cheerleaders, managers, dance team, and the boys basketball team. And Mike Jr., I don't know how I'm going to do this tonight, Mike Sr., Mike Jr., but Junior, you've been through senior nights. You know how it is. And for Lincoln, they have 8 seniors that are being recognized with Coach Einerson and his staff here at Lincoln. That's always a special night. And these are the guys that started that were here on when Coach Einerson got the job 4 years ago. They went 1-21 that first year, and here they are, the first season above 500 since then.
Well, not only that, Mark, but they're conference champs. They beat North the other night to lock
That's
up that championship, and it's the first time Lincoln's been conference champs since we had conference champs back here. So it almost feels fitting to be back here on senior night. And what a tribute for these guys to, you mentioned, Mark, they started out his first year, Coach Einerson, and to win one game that first year, to come back there as seniors, and win a conference championship. I think that's just a fantastic it says a lot about, first of all, the Lincoln staff and about these kids and how they gutted it out. And Downing's going to be in for a ball game tonight. This is a team that is that can play with anybody, and it's a great atmosphere in here. Senior night, obviously, an important night for these guys. They're going to remember this for a long time.
Yeah, no question about that. Now, last year, Lincoln went over to Dowling and beat Dowling 57-55 about a year ago to the day. So, and off that Lincoln team, they graduated 4 seniors that played a lot. So they have a couple of kids back from that starting team, but they graduated quite a bit. And tonight, some of those kids are being recognized. And obviously, Mike Sr., some of the young men at Lincoln, not all the seniors start, we know that, but a lot of them, the ones that do, have contributed, and they've contributed in one way or another. If you're not starting, how are you doing in practice? Are you a leader in the locker room, on the bus? Where is going to be your fit besides being the maybe the 10th through 15th player on the team? And that's always a challenge.
It is, and I think that's where coaches really shine, when they can convince young men that they need to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves. And once you can do that, you let them know that the number one guy on your team who's the leading scorer, leading rebounder, and the last guy on your team that never gets into the game, they're equally as important, because if that 15th man doesn't do everything he can to help everybody else get better, then the team doesn't get better. And anytime that you start out with a 1-21 record your first year and now you're a conference champion, that tells me a lot about the coaching staff and about a bunch of young men, I won't call them kids, a bunch of young men that have bought into not only the coaching staff but also the system that they've put in. And I think it's a great credit to Lincoln High School.
And it is to Coach Einerson. And I've known Justin since he was an assistant at Grandview with Coach Schaefer there. He and I worked many games on radio, broadcasting Grandview games, but he was a long-time assistant, went back to Wisconsin, and then married his wife, who is here from the greater Des Moines area, graduate of Grandview, and settled here in the South Side. But before all that, he says, I have standards, and these kids are going to meet the standards. He's got a 3.5 GPA of all these kids, these 15 kids that are student in the classroom. That is very difficult to do, especially in Des Moines schools right now, and that's a credit to him. But he is stuck by those standards. He expects the kids to live to those standards, and they have. And thus tonight, they got a chance to knock off a Dowling team that's been on a pretty good winning streak, and they got a little bit of confidence from last year. And Mike Jr., you know all about that. It's all about, hey, if I just open that door and get my foot in it, now they're through the door, and they knocked off Dowling, and something they hadn't done in about 6-7 seasons. They have not beaten Dowling in the one-game series they have with each other.
Well, Mark, we've seen it a couple times with Dowling this year. You let a team hang around for a little bit, they get some confidence, and next thing you know, it's a ball game down to the stretch. That happened to North. You think about how well North played, and that game went down to basically the last second mark where Dowling needed a steal to lock that up. There were a couple games in that losing streak that Dowling had where they didn't get off to a good start. And you think about Johnston and Ames both having success against Dowling, not getting off to a good start, and then shots started to fall. Dowling couldn't come back. But I'm looking at a Dowling team right now, Mark, that has been playing outstanding basketball the last 5 games. And they're really on a roll. They've got an opportunity to finish on a win streak here and roll into the sub-state tournament. And, you mentioned we did the North game, what an impressive win that was. And then what they did to Ames defensively, you think about the last couple games, not North was notwithstanding, but, the Ames game, and then what they did to Mason City, holding these teams to 1 and 2 points in quarters, Mark, is unheard of in high school basketball.
And that was the game that you missed last Friday, Mike. Dowling defeated Ames 48-24. Go back about 3 weeks before that, Ames defeated Dowling by 2, and boy, how things changed. The Maroons locked in. They weren't going to settle for just being, reciprocal of that Ames predictable, patient offense. They ran a minute and a half off the clock. Dowling wasn't having any of that, and a lot of it had to do with Omaha Blue and how aggressive he became that game. He got the start, which he did in the first time they played Ames, got the start last Friday, and he really locked down on their best player.
The third time that we've seen Omaha Blue on their best player to start the game. He poses such a big defensive threat with how long his arms are, how physical he is. He's got a great vertical, just a good athlete, and can guard in space. And that's what we're seeing. And I think Coach O'Connor really has an advantage now where he can stick a 6'7", athletic guard onto anybody on the floor, and he can guard them as good as anybody.
You're listening to the pregame show tonight here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Dowling and Lincoln from the Roundhouse here at Des Moines Lincoln. Mark Amadale joined by the Swain family, Mike and Mike, here tonight as Lincoln has their homecoming, or has their seniors being introduced, and we're a little bit late in the start. We're going to tip off here in about 10 minutes. I'm going to go back to the point that Mr. Swain, you were talking about earlier, being that 15th guy on the bench on the team and what it means, especially after being a senior, all the time you put in, all the workouts. You're just like the starters. You can't miss any of that stuff to be part of the team. But the one thing they're there at every game, but there are more practices and summer workouts than there are games, and that's how vital that these guys are. And plus, they're part of your scout team when you prep for the teams like North, the Johnstons, the Dowlings. Oh, by the way, the number 1 Centennial. They're part of your scout team, so you hope they give you a good look. And tonight, Lincoln recognized 8 of those seniors, and Dowling did theirs a few weeks ago. They are so important to this program.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the most difficult places to be in is when you are a senior and you've come up through the program for 4 years, and all of a sudden you thought that by the time you got to be a senior, you'd be a starter, you'd be a major contributor, and maybe you aren't. And so for a coach has to go out the summer before, and they've got to convince those kids that they are still a huge part of the team. I remember, at one point, in fact, it was one of our last years here at Lincoln High School, and we went to 2 of our players that we knew probably weren't going to get too much time, and they were both seniors. And I said, I need you guys either all in, and where are you at this point in time? And I said, if you're all in, I said, you're the 2 leaders that I think can actually lead this team. And so they became our team captains, even though we had a lot of other seniors on the team, and those 2 guys didn't start. But they provided some quiet leadership, and they showed up every day. They never complained. We actually played a game down at Wells Fargo, and we put one of those players in. It's probably only one of the few times that he got in that game, and he hit a critical shot against Ames, who was ranked in the top 2 or 3 teams in the state that year. They had all of their big guns, and we ended up beating him, but he hits this critical 3-point shot, only shot he took during the game. And it was because he bought into it back in the summer. So my hat's off to a lot of these seniors that may not even get in the game tonight. Those young men have come a long way, and I can guarantee each one of them that this experience that they've had over 4 years will really pay off in the next several years and probably the rest of their life.
Well, appreciate you sitting in tonight with this Mr. Swain Sr. I'm just going to try to call you that between you and your son tonight, but thanks for being up here. Thanks for being back in town. I didn't think we'd see him, Mike, until winter was over. I thought he was on a desert somewhere, and here he is, comes back, see his kids and grandkids probably.
Basically, I just get a text message saying, hey, your mother and I are out of town. We'll be gone for the next week. We'll see you in a little while. I don't really know his schedule anymore, so it is nice that we were able to he's in town and able to come join us at this historic building tonight to call what's going to, I think, be a great basketball game.
Well, here's what I want. I want you to watch for this tonight now, Mark. I'll never forget one of the first games we ever coached together, and we were in some little gym clear up in northeast Blairsburg, I think it was, and there was about 10 seconds to go in the half. We had the ball, and I was really upset, and I called a timeout. It's the only time in my coaching career where one of my assistants slapped me with a program and said, "What are you doing?" And it was this guy. I mean, he was just...
I believe that.
Mark, we got to keep timeouts. We can't call a timeout with 10 seconds to go in the half, especially when we didn't... It wasn't going to affect the outcome. It
must have been important, and I'm guessing it was with Des Moines Christian, not Des Moines Lincoln.
Yeah, so if I do anything wrong tonight, keep an eye on the programs up here.
I love it. We're going to take a break here in the pregame show. Mark Amadale joined by the Swaimers, Mike and Mike, and we appreciate both of them being here tonight at the historic Lincoln Roundhouse on Des Moines South Side. It's Dowling and Lincoln boys basketball, and a little bit longer pregame due to the ceremonies for the seniors here at Lincoln. And we'll take our first break. Jeff Piggott is our studio producer. We thank him for all he does back at Iowa Catholic Radio, and we'll return to tonight's game here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Dowling Catholic Sports 365 is provided in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic with 2 licensed optometrists, Barbara Sheets, a Dowling Catholic
Mr.
graduate,
Swaim
and
Sr.
Dr.
is a
Todd
little
Pedig.
hot.
The Ashworth Vision Clinic team provides complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. Ashworth Vision Clinic is located at Ashworth and 60th Street in West Des Moines. 515-440-4610. Online at ashworthvision.com.
The Catholic Tuition Organization provides the best tax savings over any other charitable giving in the state. 65% of your contribution directly reduces your Iowa income tax liability. Plus, there are still federal deductibility options to further save on taxes. Find details online, ctoiowa.org. All this for the kids and their future.
And we're back here at the historic Des Moines Lincoln Roundhouse. It's Dowling and Lincoln tonight. Boys basketball. Mark Amadale joined by Mike Swaim Sr. and Mike Swaim Jr. tonight on Iowa Catholic Radio. And welcome both to the broadcast. And, you know, this is they have both teams play later this week. Dowling will play Thursday because they're playing Southeast Polk, but the Southeast Polk wrestling team, and we know how good they are. They've got a dynasty going over there. They will be wrestling Friday and Saturday, so they moved the Dowling Southeast Polk game from Friday to Thursday, so we'll be on the air here in a couple more days. And that'll be a 6:15 tip-off for the varsity game. So that'll be Dowling's next game before they have 8 days or a week off. 8 days off, really, because the Maroons will get the winner in the postseason of their sub-state, either Lewis Central or Council Bluffs Jefferson. Those two teams will play next Monday for the right to play Dowling on Friday, February 24th. Des Moines Lincoln goes on the road Friday night at number 1 Ankeny Centennial, so the road doesn't get any easier. And then they settle in. They start their sub-state play on Monday, this coming Monday, February 24th. They will host Mason City right here at the Lincoln Roundhouse, and the winner has a trip to Waukee, who has the first round bye. So how important is a game like this? Before we go to our starting lineups, we'll start with the senior Swaim here, Mike. Your thoughts on how they prepare, because postseason lingers next week, regular season this week, the seeding's all done, they don't care about records. Now you're playing and try to get better.
Well, it's true that it's not about records right now, but what it is about is whether or not you can build some momentum going into the actual state tournament. And, you know, so many times you know that the team you're going to play, for the most part, your first game is going to be against someone that you played before. And so if right now Lincoln or Dowling, either one, are looking past this game, and they're thinking about that team that they're going to face the first night, and most of them know who that is, then this game can take them in a wrong direction. And so for both teams, this is an important game. Lincoln's coming off of winning a conference title for the first time in 9 or 10 years. Dowling has been playing very well, coming off of a 5-game win streak. So both teams tonight have to tell themselves that this is not a fluke, that we are prepared to get ready for the state tournament and we are ready to go. And so I would look for both teams to be very competitive tonight.
And we may see the extended lineups tonight, Mike Swaim Jr., because at Ames on Friday night, Dowling did not have part of their bench, Simon Daniel, who made that outstanding steal right during the North game a week ago tonight in the latter seconds of that game. He was injured in practice, I think, right after that game, so he didn't play Friday night, and he is back. And Simon's contributed off the Dowling bench. And the benches are so critical because there are some guys who started, mainly like Riedel, who's coming off the bench now. And we're seeing different combinations, and that is also one thing you're trying to fine-tune is your rotation, but that's based on matchups of the opponent sometimes.
Not only Matt Riedel, but how about Joe Stracco, who hit 2 huge threes in that North game,
yes,
Mark. He was a former starter as well, now coming off the bench. So Dowling, Mike O'Connor and the bench, the coaching staff, I think they feel confident going 9 deep with this team. And they've had to go 9 deep with this team when there's been guys in foul trouble. So, it just, you never know how the officials are going to call it. And it's a great luxury to be able to grab a guy off of a bench, know he's going to come in and be able to perform what you need him to do. A couple of games, Andrew Lynch had a nice game the other night when both Drew Daniel and Riggs were in foul trouble at North. So it's so important to have those guys playing well. And then the other thing is starting to make sure that everybody is dialed in and focusing on what we do best. Mark, we've seen Dowling struggle from the three-point line in a number of games this year. And, depending on these next games with Lincoln and Southeast Polk, it's an emphasis for the coaching staff to say, listen, this is what we do, this is how we do it best, and to try and execute that game plan when it doesn't matter. There is going to be a tomorrow, okay? So you can work on your stuff and make sure that you're comfortable so that when they play a week from now against one of those Council Bluffs teams and there is no tomorrow, everybody knows the game plan and how you're going to execute it.
All right, thanks for that. Let's get to our starting lineup tonight as we're, again, live here at the Lincoln Roundhouse. Mark Amadale, Mike Swaim Sr., and Mike Swaim Jr. joining us tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for Dowling. They are the visiting team. We're in their road maroon uniforms with white numbers. Dowling comes in with a record of 13-6. They finished 6-4 in the Central Conference, and they come in this week just outside the AP top 10 as they had receiving votes along with Ankeny. And the Maroons will start at one guard, Michael Keel, a 5'10 senior, averaging 3.5 points, and is second on the team in steals with 20, and he'll wear number 3. The other guard is Matt Stillwell. Matt is a 6'2 senior, averaging 11.5 points and 2.5 assists. He leads the team with 28 steals, and he'll wear number 5. At one forward for Dowling, Drew Daniel. Daniel, a 6'6 senior, averaging 9 points, 5.5 rebounds, leads the team with 38 made three-pointers, and he'll wear number 33. And the other forward is Omaha Ballou, the 6'7 freshman, averaging 6 points, 3.5 rebounds. He has 11 blocks so far this year, and he'll wear number 41. And at center for Dowling, their leading scorer is Ryan Riggs, a 6'8 junior, averaging 12.5 points, 7 rebounds. He leads the team with 27 blocks, and he'll wear number 21. So again, Dowling will start Michael Keel, Matt Stillwell, Drew Daniel, Omaha Ballou, and Ryan Riggs. Dowling coached by Michael Connor, who just got win number 201 last Friday night at Ames. He's 201 wins and 111 losses. And he's assisted by Nick Wagner, Jimmy Nahas, David Combs, and Pat Henkenius, who has so far led the Dowling sophomore team to an undefeated season. Right now he is 20-0, waiting on Thursday's game with Southeast Polk. Maroons come in averaging just under 58 points on offense and give up 47 points on defense. Maroons lead this series with Des Moines Lincoln 10-3 since the 2006-2007 series. But Lincoln winning last year, that snapped the Dowling 5-game winning streak. Let's take a look at the Lincoln Rail Splitters. Their head coach is Justin Einertson in his 4th year here at Lincoln. 29 wins, 58 losses. He's assisted by Rob Newton, Jacob Hugen. JV coaches are Connor Chiano and TJ Reed, and the freshman coach is Dom Shirley. And the Rail Splitters will start this lineup as they bring in a record of 12-7. They were champs of the Metro Conference with an 8-2 record. They will start at one guard, Cameron Francis, a 6-foot senior, averaging 8.5 points, and wear number 2. The other guard is Andrew Klein, a 5'9 senior, averaging 4 points, and he will wear number 3. The third guard is Ben Badger, a 5'10 senior, averaging 17.5 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. They all lead the team in categories, along with 42 steals, and he has made 23 three-pointers. Badger will wear number 5. At one forward, their leading scorer, or their leading three-point shooter, is Nate Feller. Nate will wear number 0 tonight for Lincoln, a 6'2 senior, averaging 14.5 points, 6.5 rebounds. And he is first of the team with 42 made threes. And again, he'll wear number 0. The other forward is Cameron Young, a 6'1 senior, averaging 5.5 points, 4.5 rebounds. Leads the team with 9 blocks, and he'll wear number 15. So a very small lineup for Lincoln. Cameron Francis, Andrew Klein, and Ben Badger, the 3 guards. Nate Feller and Cameron Young in the posts. Rail Splitters come in again with a record of 12-7. They average just under 63 points on offense and give up just over 54 points on defense. And again, Lincoln last year snapped Dowling's 5-game winning streak in this series. So that is the tale of the tape. The Maroons come in winning 5 in a row. Wins over Dubuque, Hempstead, Mason City, Urbandale. Big wins last week at Des Moines North and at Ames. Lincoln has come in. They've lost 2 of their last 3 games, but the big win was against North on Friday night, a 90-74 win. And Mike Swaim Jr., that put Lincoln as Metro champs because they had to play North twice within a matter of 7 days due to the being weathered out earlier. And they lost the first meeting here, but won at North last Friday, and that had to be a tremendous environment for that.
Yeah, what a huge win for them. And what struck out to me, Mark, was that they put up 90 points. So this is a team that can score, and we've seen how good Dowling is defensively, but we were just at a North gym the other night where North could put over 80 points on Dowling. So we'll have to see how tonight goes, whether it becomes a defensive struggle or if this game becomes an up-and-down shootout, which is what I'm sure Lincoln wants.
And for Lincoln, their next game is this Friday. They travel to number 1 Ankeny Centennial before opening up sub-state play at home this coming Monday night, February 24th. They'll host Mason City, and the winner of the Mason City-Lincoln game will travel to number 6 Waukee, and that'll be in sub-state number 7 in Class 4A. For Dowling, the Maroons' next game will be this coming Thursday, as they will host Southeast Polk in a boys-only contest, and we'll tip off at 6:15 for the contest. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the start of tonight's game between Dowling and Lincoln here at the Roundhouse. But first, a word from Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School, and our pregame prayer with Father Ryan Andrew, along with Mike Swaim Sr. and Mike Swaim Jr. This is Mark Amadale from the Roundhouse here at Lincoln, back with a tip-off between Dowling and Lincoln here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School, and welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School basketball. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting basketball, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons!
Hello, my name is Father Ryan Andrew, and I'm the chaplain at Dowling Catholic High School. Let us pray for the coaches, players, and trainers tonight for this athletic competition. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask you to bless all those involved in this athletic competition tonight. We ask that you keep them safe, and that they all show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord, amen. All holy men and women, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen.
The home and away voice of Dowling Catholic Sports and Activities, Iowa Catholic Radio. KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, KIHS Adel.
And welcome back to the Lincoln High School Roundhouse, and alongside Mike Swaim Jr. and Mike Swaim Sr. tonight, we've got high school boys basketball. It's Dowling and Lincoln here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Busy week here on the radio, as Thursday night we'll turn around and we'll have Dowling and Southeast Polk in a boys contest. And on Saturday we have the Dowling girls opening up regional play. They will host Des Moines Lincoln at the Dowling gym at 5 o'clock this Saturday afternoon. So we've got a lot of games coming up here. And Mike Swaim, heading to the postseason next week, aren't we? It's going to be a busy week the next couple weeks.
It's the best. It's what we were looking forward to, Mark, the whole season. So can't wait for it.
Well, you have to play 21 games to get to the postseason, and we're underway now as Ryan Riggs jumped it up against Nate Feller and Lincoln, a very small team, nobody over 6'2" in their starting lineup, and Dowling with the ball first. It's Michael Keel, Matt Stillwell. Now here's Drew Daniel, corner three from the right side, shot no good. Rebound tipped around by Omaha Blue, right in the hands of Matt Stillwell, and we're underway as Dowling with another shot. It's no good. Rebound out of there by Lincoln and Cameron Young.
Well, a couple wide open threes, but that's not the game that Dowling wants to get into tonight. What a block by Omaha Blue.
Young took it to the right side down the lane, and Blue swipes it off the glass. Block shot. Dowling with the basketball. And now Blue and Dowling in the front court as we're underway here at the Roundhouse. Des Moines Lincoln, a very historic place. As Dowling underneath, and a shot by Riggs with the left hand, good. And he did a lot of that against Ames, Mike, in that game last Friday night. Left-handed or right-handed. Ryan showing a lot of versatility there, and Maroons up 2-0.
I think the staff's been working on that, Mark. Early in the season, we saw him strictly using his right, and it's great that he is going both to his right and his left, and a nice find that time by Michael Keogh as well in the paint to Ryan Riggs, just sort of throwing it up to the big guy.
He certainly had his way at Ames the other night and led Dowling in scoring on Friday with 20 points. Now here's Lincoln with the basketball. Cameron Francis on the right corner gets it back up top to Andrew Klein. Francis and Klein play catch. Now Francis will go beyond the arc and get it back to Klein. Klein, a senior, Francis, a senior. They were recognized before the contest tonight with 18 players. And now underneath, Francis initiates a shot. It's no good against Drew Daniel. Rebound out to Dowling.
A nice job by Daniel not to foul. Just went straight up there.
Now Daniel down the lane. Left-handed shot, good. He went right around Nate Feller for the score. The Maroons up 4-0.
And that's what he's been doing, Mark. He's been going to the basket instead of just relying on that three, and it's a great weapon for Dowling.
Here's Cameron Young on the baseline. Can't get a shot off. Now leaves it for Feller for three. It's no good. Rebound Omaha Blue and Dowling. Maroons go left to right as we are high above the score, or high above the catwalk and above the scorer's table here at Lincoln. Now a backdoor cut. Blue underneath. His shot up and good. And a nice pass from Michael Keogh that time.
And I think Omaha had sights on tomahawking that thing, but Lincoln defender got in the way. But Omaha, nice job to avoid a charge and be able to put it in.
Omaha 1 for 2 in dunks Friday night. Just catch up, Mike. He blew one, but he made one too.
I haven't let my dad know that it's Nahas's fault of all the missed dunks for Dowling. So.
Corner three, up and good for the Rails. Cameron Francis shoots and scores. That's the first three-pointer of the night.
Yeah, and Lincoln in a little diamond press, a little 1-2-1-1 trap.
After a made basket, and the Maroons get it across the timeline with plenty of time. 5:10 remaining. First quarter, Dowling 6 and Lincoln 3. The Maroons' largest lead was 6. They had the first 6 points tonight. And now in the lane, pull-up jumper good. Just inside the free throw line, Matt Stillwell. So 4 Dowling players have scored here in the first quarter.
Oh, really nice job by Stillwell. So good off the dribble. And here's a near steal by Omaha.
He reached out and deflected the ball right between Keogh and Stillwell, but Feller retained it for Lincoln. Now Feller beyond the arc. Three-pointer up, off the mark, no good. And the rebound, Drew Daniel from the weak side. Dowling with the ball. They go left to right now in the front court. Here's Ballou. Wants to drive on Francis. Can't do it. He cuts him off. Lincoln drops back to man. Now Keogh down the lane. His shot off the glass, no good. Rebound Lincoln and Feller.
Pretty good block out that time by Feller on Riggs.
Now we've got carrying the basketball called on Feller.
Mark, this is a Lincoln team that has attempted 467 three-point shots on the year. So it's over 150 more than Dowling. You're going to see a lot of three-point attempts tonight, just like we did in that North game.
Yeah. Dowling's made 100 threes on the season. Lincoln's made 150. That's quite a – and Feller will light it up. He leads the team with 42 made threes in the season. I think Drew Daniels at 38 for Dowling, so we'll see how that transpires. Here's Michael Keogh for three right wing. Up off the back iron, no good. Ballou with the rebound as he corrals it away from Cameron Francis. Down court. Here's Stillwell in the lane. His shot no good. They let him play, and the rebound out to Lincoln. With it is Cameron Francis. Goes against Keogh. His shot no good. Rebound Dowling. Coming away with it is Drew Daniel. He's double-teamed after the rebound.
I thought it was a good no call. Keogh was sort of falling back. There wasn't a lot of contact there, and now there is contact.
Now we've got a whistle and a foul on Lincoln. Ben Badger will pick up the foul, says Tom Fetkether. So Badger with his first foul. Badger, a 5'10" senior, leading scorer for Lincoln, and that's something that Dowling likes to do, is get the other team leading scorers in foul trouble, at least in the games they've been successful with, Mike.
Well, and they've been so successful pushing the ball, too, off of a rebound or steal.
Corner three by Drew Daniel, no good. Rebound, Drew Daniel, as Lincoln didn't get him boxed out in the left baseline, and Dowling will reset. 3.5 minutes remaining, 8-3 Maroons here in the first quarter from the Roundhouse at Lincoln. Boys basketball tonight on Iowa Catholic Radio. Stillwell coming off a ball screen by Riggs. To get it over to Keogh, and it's stolen away by the Rails. Badger.
Nice play by Badger that time. Dowling had it all set up to go inside to Riggs, but good hands by Badger.
And now Badger gets the ball out top of the key. A three-pointer up, good by Cameron Francis. He's got back-to-back threes, and he cuts the Dowling lead to 2 with 8-6 Maroons with 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Now full court pressure by Lincoln. The Maroons throw it away. Keogh's pass to Daniel, thrown away. And now here's Badger in the lane, and dribbles down, and the shot is up and good, but they're going to wave it off. Foul on Dowling before the shot.
Well, Mark, we're just under the 3-minute mark here, and it's felt like Dowling has controlled most of this first quarter, but you look up at the scoreboard, it's 8-6, and Lincoln has an opportunity to tie this game. Just shows you how effective that three-point shot can be, and if Dowling turns the ball over, it doesn't take advantage of opportunities, it becomes a game.
Dowling with 4 players that have scored. Stillwell steals the inbounds pass right from Ben Badger. 4 players have scored for Dowling, 1 for Lincoln. Now the Maroons in transition here is Riggs' has shot up and go with the left hand. Did it nicely from that right block, and Riggs with 4 points.
Mark, there are 2 men covering him, and that's just great touch by Riggs to be able to get that to go down.
Badger dribble drives the lane, kicks it out to Klein on the baseline, and he draws the foul, and that'll be on Joe Stopulos, who just checked in for Dowling. So Dro picks up his first foul. He and Matt Riedel came in at the last dead ball. Now Andrew Lynch for the first time, the 6'5 junior for Dowling. As Drew Daniel will sit down, Michael Keel has already sat down, and so has Omaha Ballou. So Stillwell remains in there, along with Riggs, the 2 remaining starters for Dowling, with 2.5 minutes remaining. Lincoln with the ball, Badger gets on the baseline, and now drawing the foul, will be a blocking foul called on Riggs, as that was Cameron Young. He had nowhere to go on the baseline, and Riggs kind of bailed him out of that time.
Yeah, Young got around Riedel that time, and Riggs tried to get him cut off, but bumped him. I thought it was a good call by the officials. Clearly a foul, and Lincoln will inbound underneath their own basket.
Rails will throw it in as Alex Crimmins checks in for Lincoln, the 6'3 senior, averaging 2 points, 2 rebounds. And Lincoln once again throws the ball away on the inbounds play. And Stillwell with the steal and basket. And a timeout, Lincoln. This will be a 30-second break. And that is the second time tonight Dowling has stolen the inbounds play.
It sort of looked like a play in football, Mark, right? Stillwell going up for a pass there. Just
I called a few of those this year.
Right, I know you did. So that's a great job by Stillwell there.
Mark Emmerdale along with Mike Swaim Jr. And let's bring in Mike Swaim Sr. to the broadcast. But I feel like I got Dick Vitale, and who's the guy that used to do these? Have a 3-man crew.
Well, my brother Dan said, now don't be Lee Corso tonight. So that's what we wanted to make sure that. I know.
Whoa. Wasn't Dan one of the sophomore or freshman coaches here, Coach Swaim?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was.
Uh-huh. You okay? Or there's a reason why he was the head coach and your son over there to your right was the assistant.
I have no comment on that.
All right, Lincoln out of the timeout. Dowling leads at 12-6. And Dowling with a little full-court pressure, a little 1-2-2 full-court pressure. Lincoln dribbles across the timeline. Feller now caught as he across the timeline. Gets it underneath to Francis. Francis now mashed up underneath. It's stolen away by Riedel. Blocked and stolen by Matt Riedel. And now Dowling in transition. Here's Riggs with it. Down the lane, cut off. Leaves it for Stillwell. Fakes the 3. Dribbles down the left side. Can't get a shot off. And now Lincoln will settle back in their man-to-man defense. Dowling with Stracco, Lynch, Stillwell on a backdoor cut. Here's Stillwell underneath the Riggs, and he lays it in. Nice ball movement that time by Dowling.
Mark, that's the second time Lincoln has got beat on a backdoor cut. That time Stillwell then a nice little dump off to Riggs, and now Dowling going with the little 3-2 zone. First time we've seen that tonight.
Yeah, and we're seeing it right off the bat here with a minute and a half remaining in the first quarter. Dowling 14. Lincoln 6. Maroon's largest lead is right now at 8 points. Lincoln playing 4 out, 1 in. Their post player right now is Alex Crimmins, their 6'3 senior. He's mashed up in the post. Now underneath, a shot up and no good by Badger, but he drew the foul and he'll go to the free throw line. And our officials tonight are Jay Flora, Tom Fetkether, and Tom Moreland. And Tom Norland made the foul call there, and that'll send Badger to the line for the first time tonight. Lincoln shooting free throws here, and there'll be 2 of them.
Well, a veteran crew. But Badger has shown the ability so far in this first quarter to get inside the lane. It's sort of a smaller version of Matt Stillwell, able to use his body and get inside the paint.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Kemen, Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, and Dental Associates. Second free throw good by Badger. That's Lincoln's leading scorer. 2 points here in the first quarter. Averages 70% from the free throw line, and it's 14-8. Dowling by 6 with a minute to play here in the quarter. Dowling with the ball, and now here's Riggs down the right side of the lane. His shot up and good over Crimmins. Riggs with 8 first quarter points to lead Dowling.
He's really playing well, Mark.
Now here's a steal by Stracco. as he took the ball away from Lincoln all the way down court, and Stracco lays it through. Nice job by Joe Stracco off the bench. Solo ball away from Badger.
Wow, how nice is that? Again, we mentioned it at the beginning, Mark, with Stracco, who was a one-time starter, just real confident, steals the ball, able to lay it in on himself. So good job by Joe Stracco.
Yeah, Joe did a nice job, and the other young man is Matt Riedel, who was a starter early in the year, and he and Omaha Blue kind of shared that spot, and Omaha's been getting the start lately. And Lincoln will hold for the last shot. Possession arrow favors the Rails, so we could see a two-possession swing here, but down 18-8 with 10 seconds remaining. With the basketball, Lincoln, Ben Badger between the circles, guarded by Stillwell. Lost it over the right side to Ron Boss, who just checked in. Three-point in the corner, no good. Rebound, Riggs, and a half-court shot by Stillwell is no good, and we've come to the end of the first quarter with the score. Dowling 18, Des Moines Lincoln 8, along with Mike Swaim Sr. and Mike Swaim Jr. I'm Mark Amadale. Thanks for listening. We'll be back with the second quarter in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Thank you, construction professionals, for underwriting our show, Man Up, heard Mondays at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Construction professionals have been long supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio, and we've seen their work. It's beautiful.
They do remodeling or new construction that is innovative, functional, and designing what you want. It's a family business built on a strong foundation to create a new or remodeled home that is uniquely yours.
cpcustomhomes.com. From our family to yours, God bless. Thank you, construction professionals.
Thank you, Dental Associates, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365. With over 40 years' experience, Dental Associates is a group dental practice with the mission of promoting optimum health and well-being to all patients, providing preventative, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry for the entire family. Message underwritten by Dr. Kenton Gleichman, Dr. Steve Karbaka, Dr. Christine Mulcahy, and Dr. Ben Nagel. Dental Associates, addressing your smile, needs, and dreams. Online at DesMoines-DentalAssociates.com.
And welcome back to the Roundhouse here at Des Moines Lincoln. Boys basketball tonight on Iowa Catholic Radio. Dowling leading Lincoln 18-8. Mark Amadale along with Mike Swaim Sr. and Mike Swaim Jr. as Lincoln starts the second quarter with the basketball. This is Nate Feller with it. It's Feller along with Cameron Young. Ben Badger, who's down the lane, his shot up with the left hand, no good, and they're going to wave off the basket, and a foul called on Dowling before the shot. Also in there for Lincoln is Cameron Francis, and inbound the ball will be Andrew Klein. Blue picks up the foul for Dowling, and on Omaha, his first foul on team foul number 5 on the Maroons. Lincoln with one team foul, and the Rails go all the way in the back court to throw it in. Almost turned it over there again, Mike, like they did in the first half.
Yeah, having some real problems getting the ball inside. Dowling defense doing a nice job.
So Lincoln with the basketball, Cameron Francis, and a tie-up as he worked the free throw line, and Stillwell tied him up, tried to go around Drew Daniel, and ran into a wall. It'll be possession arrow favoring Dowling. 18-8, Dowling by 10. Here in the second quarter as we're underway from the historic Lincoln Roundhouse, John Carl Court. Hopefully I'm here for the night for the Swaim induction when they dedicate the backboard or a scoreboard or something. Is Stillwell in the line. I'm waiting for that day.
I told you, Mark, it's going to be the concession stand.
Well, you spent a lot of time there, is that what you're saying, Coach? Stillwell with the basket. That's his 6th point for Dowling. He got loose in the lane, 20-8, Maroons by 12. Either way, I want to be here for it. I'll have you guys mic'd. I'll get my football equipment out, and we'll have a field mic on you, and we'll see how that runs. All right, Lincoln with the basketball. They go right to left in front of us as we are high above the ceiling here at Lincoln High School, the Roundhouse, right above the scorer's table. Rails.
It has been difficult for Lincoln to find opportunities to even shoot the ball, and they're starting their offense way beyond the three-point line.
And they're staying out way beyond the three-point line. When they get inside that paint area, Dowling's tied the ball up and really forced some shots. And for Lincoln, you know, we mentioned earlier they're very, compared to Dowling, a very small team. A shot blocked by Stillwell as Young had the shot blocked, but a three-pointer up and good as a rebound came out to Cameron Young, and he scores. That's the third three tonight for Lincoln, the first for Young. It's 20-11. Dowling, and now Ballou underneath. He missed the dunk, gets his own rebound, and loses the ball out of bounds. It'll be Lincoln basketball. So Omaha either lost the ball on the way up, but nonetheless had an opportunity for a dunk there and missed it.
There was a Lincoln defender that just got right into that paint right at the end and just couldn't get enough of that to throw it down. But I like the aggressiveness.
20-11. Dowling with the lead. Lincoln with the basketball. Rails in their front court. This is Nate Feller working left side against Omaha Blue. Now he kicks it back out top to Ben Badger. Now back in the corner for Feller for three. It's up no good from the left corner. Rebound Dowling. Daniel with the rebound, and Michael Keel all the way down the lane. His shot up too strong. Rebound Andrew Lynch. Maroons keep it alive. And now Daniel down the lane, goes around a defender. His shot no good. And the rebound Lincoln and Nate Feller. Lincoln does not start anybody above 6'2". Dowling has 3 or 4 players taller than 6'4", so a height disadvantage for Lincoln early in this contest. Now a bad pass by Badger, stolen away by Stillwell, and he goes in for the left-handed layup and scores. Dowling 22, Lincoln 11. Coach?
Well, that was all started by the hedging that Dowling continues to do. Every single time a guy puts it on the floor, they hedge to that side, and then they're able to force them to do something that they don't want to do.
And they're forcing them into those long threes, and I was going to have a comment on that. Is a three-pointer by Lincoln. It's Ben Badger, no good, out of bounds to Dowling. And, Mike, we were talking about earlier in the year, I think it was a North game, Dowling settling for threes. And then, that's great when they go in. When they don't go in, when you're 2 for 15 or whatever, you got to start attacking the glass. At Ames, Drew Daniel, who's Dowling's leading three-pointer, attacked the glass several times in that game. He had a nice game, but you want to start attacking the glass at times instead of settling for stuff.
No question about it. And Lincoln, look, they've got 3 3-pointers and 2 free throws. They don't have a shot inside a 2-point basket at this point.
Now here's Ballou. He spins in the lane. His shot up and no good. Got caught up underneath the basket after his spin. The rebound out to Lincoln. Rails have it. This is Badger with it, and he loses it on the floor to Riedel. Dowling with another steal, so one turnover deserves another. 22-11 Maroons. They lob underneath. Riggs down court. Reverse layup. Good.
Great pass. Great pass.
Well, it's the second time that Michael Keogh has been able to find him. They're looking for him every time.
Full timeout called by Lincoln. We'll take one ourselves. 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Dowling 24, Lincoln 11. Along with Mike Swaim Sr. and Mike Swaim Jr., I'm Mark Emmerdale. Back to the Roundhouse at Des Moines Lincoln in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio's broadcast of Dowling Catholic sports and activities is provided by Chemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world. Chemin is on the leading edge of molecular science, manufacturing more than 500 specialty ingredients for the human and animal health and nutrition, pet food, aquaculture, nutraceutical, food technologies, crop technologies, and textile industries. Chemin strives to sustainably transform the quality of life every day for 80% of the world with their products and services. Chemin, using science to transform the world. Online at chemin.com.
Thank you to Mercy One for their support of Iowa Catholic Radio. From the cardiovascular experts at the Iowa Heart Center to the pediatric services of Mercy Children's Hospital and Clinics, Mercy provides complete care for Central Iowa's adults and children with more than 50 primary care and specialty clinics in the Des Moines area. Find a convenient Mercy One location near you. Online at mercydesmoines.org.
And we're back here at the Roundhouse at Des Moines Lincoln. 4:15 remaining here in the second quarter. Dowling 24, Des Moines Lincoln 11. Mark Emmerdale joined by Mike and Mike Swaim. Both the father-son duo here tonight, joining me high atop the Roundhouse. Lincoln using their second timeout. They have 3 remaining in the contest as the Rails get underneath. The shot up and no good with the left hand by Ben Badger. Fight for the rebound, and ball squirts out of there, and Riedel comes away with it, and now we've got a whistle and a reach-in foul on the Rails, I believe.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Francis on that foul. Good hustle by both players, but Riedel able to come up with it and get it to a teammate, so Dowling will keep the ball.
So Cameron Francis does pick up his first foul. Ben Badger has the other foul for Lincoln. So the Rails with 2 fouls here with 3:50 remaining in the second quarter. Dowling has 5 team fouls with Michael Keogh, Joe Stracco, Ryan Riggs, Omaha Blue with a foul each. And the Maroons get it underneath, and a shot up and good by Riggs.
In a zone, that just can't happen.
You got to take away the post if you're going to play the zone. The only reason to play that is to keep them from putting the ball in on the block.
Riggs with 12 points now. And Lincoln with the basketball as they trail by 15. This is their largest deficit of the night. And now ball loose on the floor. Ballou scrambles and gets it. Hands it off to Stracco. So it's Stracco, Ballou, Drew Daniel, Ryan Riggs, and Matt Stillwell, the 5 in for Dowling. Here's Daniel with it. Over to Stracco for 3. Up and no good. Left it short. And the rebound, Lincoln and Nate Feller. Maroons got an open look, but Stracco couldn't hit it. Now with the basketball of the rails, Badger with it. Gets it underneath to Cameron Young. Kicks it back out for three by Cameron Francis, right wing. No good. Rebound Dowling. The rails settling for three. Dowling in transition. Now Omaha Blue for three. It's no good. Rebound Stillwell, and he powers it up. It's up and good. The basket will count, and a foul on Cameron Young of Lincoln. Wow, what a strong move.
We talked about how strong Stillwell is and what an athlete, and at that time you saw it at full display there.
You're right about Mark down on this other end. Lincoln continues to put the ball on the floor, but they kick it out every time, and they're quick to shoot the threes. And if those aren't going to go down, it's going to be a long night for the Rails.
Yeah, and I know Coach Einerson's kind of left wondering, how do I attack the glass without the shot getting blocked? Or, as you mentioned, hedging in there and there's somebody else helping out. Stillwell a chance to complete the and one. He's got 10 points tonight, free throw good. 11 points for Stillwell, 12 points for Riggs. And they are 2 of the 5 that have scored for Dowling. 29-11, Maroons by 18 here in the first half. Pressure by Dowling. Lincoln gets it across the timeline. Feller gets it across. Gets it inside, now back to Feller in the left wing, and he draws the foul, and this will be on Stillwell, I believe, says Tom Fetkether. And on Matt, that'll be his first foul. Team foul number 6 on Dowling.
The height is really bothering Lincoln. Even when they get the ball in there, they're looking at 6'7" Drew Daniels, 6'8" Ryan Riggs, 6'7" Omaha Baloo. There's just nowhere to go.
Now timeout called by Lincoln. This is their third timeout they've used here in the first half, and it'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. It's Dowling 29, Lincoln 11. Mark Amadale joined tonight by Coach Swaim and, the other Swaim guy that's with me, Mike Jr. And Coach Swaim, the senior, give us your thoughts. Now, I know your family told you don't be like some football guy that we tune in on Saturday mornings, but you've been taking some notes here. Your thoughts on this game?
Well, I think if I was Lincoln at this point, we're down by 18 points. I think if they would stick with the zone but make sure that they can collapse on the post, they would do a much better job. Force Dowling at this point to shoot threes from the outside. Make them shoot the threes until they start hitting them. Then you could come out of that. But right now they just haven't done a real good job in keeping them out of the paint and keeping the ball from getting all the way to the basket.
All right, offensively for Lincoln, scoring beyond the arc. They got to do something besides launch threes. As Lincoln inbounds the ball, Ron Boston with it, and he's going to be called for the travel. As Boston, the 5'8" senior. And Lincoln will do a little full court press. But how does Lincoln, Coach Swaim, attack Dowling's defense by attacking the glass?
Well, I think one of the things they might want to do is to try and start setting some ball screens. We haven't seen much of that. Everything has been put the ball on the floor without any help.
Now here's Daniel in the lane, and he's going to be called for the charge. Great job by Lincoln, as drawing the charge is Ben Badger, as a foul will be on Drew Daniel. That'll be his first foul.
Yeah, again, nice aggressive play. If I'm Coach O'Connor, I'm okay with that. I like the fact that Drew Daniel is now taking the ball to the hole. Give credit to Ben Badger on that charge.
Simon Daniel back into the Dowling lineup for the first time. Missed the Ames game. Simon, a 6'2 junior, wears number 23, in for the first time. As Omaha Baloo, I believe, is on the bench. Lincoln with the basketball. They try to back it in out beyond the arc. Nate Feller now backs in. Goes to the basket, is shot up and good, and that's the first time we've seen that tonight.
It was a nice move.
Feller with the basket. That's his first 2 points of the night. And it's 29-13 Dowling. Maroons in the front court. Joe Stracco, Drew Daniel, Simon Daniel, Andrew Lynch, and Matt Riedel, the 5 on the floor for Dowling. Lincoln stays man-to-man. Riedel coming off a ball screen by Lynch. Can't get the shot off. Now gets to the right side. Stracco drives baseline. In the corner to Daniel for a corner three. It's no good. Rebound Lincoln. And Feller, he hits the deck, but ball picked up by Crimmins, and the Rails have it.
Well, a minute to go. I know Drew Daniel had an open look, but so far the threes haven't been falling. I'd like to see them go inside instead of launching a three there.
Now Lincoln now losing the ball on the floor. They pick it back up. Andrew Klein back in and has it. Leaves it for Feller. He's double teamed. There's that hedge by Dowling. They forced a turnover.
It's a nice job by the Dowling defense to help out.
Here's Simon Daniel for three in the corner, and it's good. Simon off the bench, and that ankle doesn't seem like it's bothering him, and that is the first to me and Sons three-pointer of the night.
That's a backbreaker. You know, you turn the ball over, and then you allow a three-pointer with 30 seconds to go, and now it looks like Lincoln's going to be content to try and shave this lead of 19 by Dowling. Actually,
19-point lead for Dowling, and final 20 seconds here. Possession arrow favors Lincoln. They're just going to hold it. To Me and Sons, 1501 Southeast 1st Street, Des Moines. Takeout available by calling 515-282-7976 or tomeandsons.net. 6 seconds remaining. Here's Feller with it. Fakes a three. Leaves it for Badger. Back to Feller. He's going to have to launch an off-balance three. It's no good. Not the shot Lincoln was looking for. We go to halftime with Dowling leading 32-13. The Maroons hold Lincoln to 5 points in that second quarter, Mike Swaim Jr.
Mark, we've seen this. I mean, they 2 points. Ames scored, I think, 2 points in the third quarter against Dowling. Mason City scores 1 point and 2 points, respectively, in quarters. Dowling's defense at times this year has been suffocating, and that's what we saw here in this second quarter. Just a great job of putting the clamps on the Lincoln offense.
I really like the help concept that Mike has taught his team. They've done a great job not only with the hedge, but every once in a while they'll get a little bit of a double. When the ball heads down towards the basket, everybody is collapsing. They're all staying even with the ball instead of staying on the outside wherever their man is. That's what's given Lincoln a couple outside shots, but it's still a better way to play defense.
And Lincoln, we were talking about attacking Dowling's defense and trying to get something besides three-point attempts, and we saw that at the end, and I believe it was Feller that finally took a Dowling defender down into the low block and actually did not have help defense by Dowling and able to score, and they're going to need to see more of that. And as you mentioned, Coach, off of ball screens.
Yeah, the other thing I don't see a whole lot of, and maybe that's just because of how we see a lot more high school basketball these days. College basketball has gone to putting the ball on the floor and trying to get to the basket, setting ball screens. We don't see as many off-the-ball screens on other players. And I haven't seen much of that from either team tonight. And I think that might help Lincoln out a little bit if they could get some movement away from the ball, set a screen on a player that's in a corner, let him dive to the hoop, and some of those things might work. But putting the ball on the floor continuously is not going to get Lincoln back in the game.
Our halftime score is Dowling leading Lincoln 32-13 here at the Roundhouse of Des Moines, Lincoln, as a Lincoln dance team performing for both teams tonight, and the audience here at the Roundhouse. We'll take a break, come back with first half scoring, and again, I'm joined by the father-son duo here at Des Moines Lincoln and formerly at Des Moines Christian, Mike and Mike Swaim. We want to appreciate them sitting in tonight. I'm Mark Amadale, Jeff Piggott, our studio producer, and we'll be back with more from the Roundhouse at Lincoln. Again, our halftime score in this boys contest, Dowling 32, Lincoln 13 here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Lincoln hasn't done it once.
Support for Dowling Catholic Sports is provided by Two Rivers Glass and Door, creating commercial glass and aluminum storefronts. Also serving your home needs by creating custom frameless shower doors, mirrors, glass tabletops, and specialty glass. Two Rivers Glass and Door. Design, fabrication, and installation. 515-222-4860. Online at tworiversglass.com. Two Rivers Glass and Door. Serving imaginations since 1992.
Thank you to Me and Sons for your support of Dowling Catholic High School basketball. Me and Sons is an Italian family restaurant with old country authentic Italian food. Enjoy the local atmosphere where you may even spot a priest, politician, or even Willie Farrell. Take advantage of Me and Sons bocce ball court with the kids while enjoying Tamia's homemade bread, pasta, and real Italian homemade desserts. Me and Sons is located on Southeast 1st Street, just south of downtown Des Moines and around the corner from Graziano Brothers. 515-282-7976. ToMeandSons.net.
The home and away voice of Dowling Catholic Sports and Activities, Iowa Catholic Radio. KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, KIHS Adel.
And welcome back to the Lincoln High Gymnasium alongside Mike Swaim Jr. and Mike Swaim Sr. tonight as they join me here at the press box overhang high above the Roundhouse here at Des Moines Lincoln. Dowling boys lead 32-13 over Des Moines Lincoln. And let's take a look at our first half statistics thus far. Not a whole lot of free throws being shot in this contest. That's a good thing. Dowling 1 for 1 at the free throw line in the first half. And Lincoln 2 for 2 at the line. Lincoln has 4 players in scoring tonight, led by Cameron Francis with 6 points. 3 points for Cameron Young, and then 2 points each for Nate Feller and for Ben Badger. For Dowling, the Maroons had 6 players score in the first half, led by Ryan Riggs with 12 points, Matt Stillwell with 11 points to lead Dowling, 3 points for Simon Daniel off the bench, Then 2 points each for Omaha Blue, Drew Daniel, and for Joe Stopulos. Dowling outscoring Lincoln 18-8 in the first quarter, and the Maroons outscored Lincoln 14-5 in the second quarter, leading here at halftime 32-13. And gentlemen, your thoughts on this first half? We got a lot to talk about with the postseason on the horizon, but we got a regular season game, non-conference, and I'm going to go back to what your dad said earlier, Mike Jr., talking about how this game moves right into the next game, which moves into Monday night, at least for Lincoln. Rail Splitters go on the road Friday at number 1 Centennial, and they take on Bob Fontana's team, and then back here Monday night, first round of boys sub-state, and they'll host Mason City.
Yeah, what a tough road here for Lincoln to finish, hosting Dowling and then on the road at number 1 Centennial. And Centennial is going to pose some problems for Lincoln as well. Their two bigs go, 6'7", 6'6", and they can shoot from outside too. They're just Centennial playing with so much confidence. So you worry from Lincoln's coaching staff that two out of the last 3 games were could be losses here, and you don't have that momentum going in. But you can regain that pretty quick after a first round win. Feel pretty good about yourself. So. Look, I think Lincoln, I mentioned at the break to my dad here, I think Lincoln, once they get the ball on a rebound, they've got to push the ball. They've got to try and create some opportunities so they're not trying to attack this Dowling half-court defense. And for Dowling, I just think it's been a great quarter, other than the fact that they haven't, I think they've, they got 1 or 2 threes, Mark, I think on that, 1 3 by Simon Daniel. It's the only thing that Dowling's not doing well. They're rebounding the ball well. They're taking care of the ball, going inside to Riggs. They've done well in transition. Their defense has caused steals and being able to get out and for some runouts. So right now it's just a fantastic half for Dowling.
I think Dowling's defense, too, has been a big part of this game so far. Ben Badger, who's averaging 17.7 points a game, has only got 2. And I think one of the things I've noticed is, first of all, they started out with Omaha on him, and he played him for a while, and then it looked like they took him off because I don't know why they took him off the first time. Second time he was playing against him and guarding him, he got a foul, and Mike immediately put him over on someone else, which I think was probably a good move. But they've definitely told their entire team that Ben Badger is the guy that they've got to make sure they stop. He's a very good ball handler. He's smart. When he puts the ball on the floor, he gets to the basket. He can spin, all those things. But every time he's gotten into the basket, if he's gotten past his man, Dowling has had great help on him. And I think that's really been one of the keys to why Lincoln right now has only got 13 points.
They're having trouble penetrating in the lane when they want to attack the glass. Dowling's help defense has been phenomenal. You mentioned the hedging that goes on off the ball. Well, I'm fouling the ball, and you're watching off the ball, and Dowling's done a great job hedging and helping.
Well, and I don't remember Lincoln getting an offensive rebound tonight. It just hasn't happened.
I don't either.
Yeah, Dowling's done a great job on the boards, and what's great if you're the Dowling coaching staff is how well Matt Stillwell has come back from that ankle injury, Mark. He looks like, he's just in, postseason form already.
He looked tentative last Tuesday at North when he first came back, and Coach O'Connor said, hey, I got to change the starting lineup. Matt Stillwell's going to start, and Riedel's going to come off the bench. That was the first change. He looked a little tentative in that first half, but he got stronger as the game went. You know how that game went. Yeah, a high-scoring game. He looked very well against Ames. He just took it down, and he can take you off dribble. Matt Stillwell can take teams off the dribble, and that's what Lincoln's guards haven't yet done, at least in this game.
That's why they're going to be such a tough matchup in the postseason, because they've got guys who can take you off the dribble, and then they've got guys who can follow behind with rebounding with Riggs, Drew Daniel, Omaha Blue. So the one thing I just keep coming back to, Mark, if Dowling will not get into one of these three-point ruts where they start settling for three-point shots, they are going to be a very tough out this year.
Yeah, their inside game right now is as good as I've seen in a while for a high school team. And I think they've got to continue to pound the ball inside. And you never can tell when you pound it inside. Every once in a while, if they'll kick it back out, that's a great time to shoot the three rather than shooting the three off of a perimeter pass.
And Drew Daniel has really adjusted to that. Now, I know one of the times he dribbled inside, he got called for the offensive foul. But that's the young man who was just settling for threes. And he does spot up. There's a time and place to do that. but he's also starting to attack the glass. I think that's a big key for Dowling because Ballou and Riggs are going to pound it in. And, Coach, to have that third guy, fourth guy, if you count Stillwell, to be able to attack the glass for Dowling's offense, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, even Dowling's guards are attacking the basket, and they're coming in to clamp up the boards as well.
Let's take a look at some other games going on. We did have an early game tonight. Johnson was at Valley in a boys game that got tipped off at 6:15. Other games tonight, Ankeny Centennial on the road at Fort Dodge. These are all boys-only games. Waukee at Ames, Southeast Polk at Indianola. Ankeny's at East, Urbandale's at Roosevelt, and Mason City at North. Hoover, Marshalltown, and Ottumwa have the night off in boys play. And, of course, the girls' regionals, the play-in games get started tomorrow. North at Ankeny, Council Bluffs Jefferson's at Roosevelt, East is at Indianola. Other girls' regional games tomorrow, Cedar Rapids, Washington at Ottumwa. And Hoover in Class 4A, Hoover is at Knoxville. So those are all games involving CIML teams. In girls 5A play tomorrow, Hoover has dropped down to 4A in the postseason, so we want to remind you of that. And last night, number 1 Marlwalk out of Class 3A knocked off Marshalltown 78-54 in a non-CIML game. And what does that say about this guy named Bowen Bourne? And they've been face guarding him, and they've been double teaming him. So his center's been the leading scorer the last couple of games. So Coach Larson's had a lot of stuff thrown at him down there at Norwalk, but right now they're ranked number 1 in 3A as of yesterday.
Mark, I don't think I need to tell a lot of people this, but he is must-see entertainment. He stole the show down at Wells Fargo Arena last year. He was the most exciting player in all 4 classes, and even though they fell a little short to Oskaloosa in that state championship game, he is absolutely somebody to get out and watch. If you have not been to a high school basketball game, you need to go watch the Norwalk Warriors and watch Bowen Bourne. He is absolutely the real deal.
And I've been begging Coach O'Connor at Dowling and Coach Larson at Norwalk. And, of course, he has a guy named Andy Howard as his assistant. Remember him when he used to go over to that place called East High School and he was coaching there? I said, hey, how about a non-division game, Dowling and Norwalk? And they draw Marshalltown last night. So, Coach, I tried to get that to happen, and it's fallen on deaf ears. Dowling and Norwalk, it's not happening.
Well, it's a great coaching staff out there.
It is.
Andy Howard, when we first got the job here at Lincoln, Andy Howard came over the first day of practice, and he came up to congratulate us for getting this job. And he said, if I can do anything at all for you, I will. Just the kind of guy that he is.
He's super.
He appreciates other coaches. He gets along with everybody. He coaches his players well. And that's a great grab for Coach Larson to have him as his assistant.
Well, you know what happened is when we were, before we got to be Catholic Radio, we were doing the Iowa Catholic Radio transmitters in Norwalk. The athletic director there at Norwalk, Al Lammers, big Catholic guy down there at St. John's in Norwalk, he says, hey, would you mind doing our postseason games? I said, well, if they don't conflict with Dowling, and they didn't. So who'd I grab for a color guy? Andy Howard, who just retired from East High. He was my color guy, then, left, and then all of a sudden we're Catholic Radio, now we're doing Dowling. And guess who he picked up? My color guy is now his assistant. So, Chris Larson knows when to pick a good one up, Mike Swain.
Sometimes it's hard for these coaches to walk away. I keep asking this guy to my left, hey, do you ever want to get back? And then he says, well, I'm on a plane tomorrow, so no, I don't think I can do it.
I'm going to miss a few practices, and you'll have about a half a calendar year all marked out. And we got to take a break. We're at halftime. Dowling leading Lincoln 32-13. Back to the second half in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Hello, my friends. Father Wade Menezes here of EWTN's Open Line Tuesday, where topics of faith, family, and fellowship are discussed each week, along with my giving general pastoral advice and catecheses. I'm asking you to faithfully support your local Catholic radio station, help give the Catholic faith to others by promoting solid Catholic programming in your local area. I strongly encourage you to become a faithful steward to your local Catholic radio station.
You can give securely online at iowacatholicradio.com, the Iowa Catholic Radio app, or call 515-223-1150.
Do you have a story? Well, God wants to hear it. Maybe you can't donate money or volunteer your time, but that doesn't mean that you can't evangelize for the Lord. Iowa Catholic Radio is on a mission of evangelization, and you can help by sharing your testimony with us. Just call 515-223-1150 and tell us how Iowa Catholic Radio has impacted your life. Or you can also email your testimony to contact@kwky.com.
And we're back here at the Lincoln Roundhouse, underway here in the second half, and immediately a timeout after a Ryan Riggs basket. While we were away at the break, Riggs with his 14th point initiates a timeout here, Mike Swaim, and Lincoln down to one timeout as head coach Justin Einerson burned his fourth timeout.
Well, I think Coach was upset. It was an immediate turnover, and then Dowling didn't even – I mean, they pushed the ball, but it wasn't even it was just sort of, let's just see what we have, and Riggs just outran the entire Lincoln team and scored easily, and I just didn't think he liked the effort, and so he took another timeout. They're down to one, Mark, that left in this game. So 34-13, this game really has just gotten away from Lincoln, and they've got to do something where they start – again, the screens have got to get better. They've got to start looking at some ball screens, really trying to attack this Dowling team inside, maybe draw, even just getting to the foul line, Mark.
All right, Lincoln inbounds the ball. Badger brings it across the timeline. Left side, that's Nate Feller. It's Feller, Badger, along with Cameron Young out there for Lincoln, Andrew Klein, and Cameron Francis, the five on the floor for Lincoln. They go left to right wearing their home white uniforms with maroon numbers. Rails struggling to get any offense tonight. Now dribble driving down the lane is Cameron Young, and he shoots and scores. Got a nice one-on-one move there.
That was a nice job that time. Dowling was in a zone, and Young found a seam. And there's a dunk by Ryan Riggs.
And led by Drew Daniel with the assist to Riggs, and Riggs with his 16th point. So 36-15 Dowling, and now underneath Lincoln with the ball, and a whistle and a foul as Omaha Ballou commits the foul before the shot by Andrew Klein.
Well, that time Klein's got to go up with that. If he had just made an attempt to shoot it, they would have said that there was 2 free throws, but he just came down with it, and even though they got the foul, Lincoln's going to have to inbound the ball.
So Dowling will man the inbounds play. Lincoln will throw it in. Klein gets it in to Feller on the left corner. 36-15 Dowling with its largest lead tonight of 21 points here in the second half. Now we got a whistle and a foul on the Maroons again on this.
That's on. No, they're going to get Ryan Riggs on that. I thought they might get Omaha Ballou. That would have been his third, Mark, but Ryan Riggs is second.
So second team foul here in the second half on Dowling. And free throws coming as the first free throw good by Nate Feller. That's his third point of the night. Comes in averaging 14.5 points. One of their leading free throw shooters. He's an 87% free thrower on the year. 36-16, Dowling by 20. Second free throw is good.
Already you got to like the aggressiveness that Lincoln. That's the second possession Lincoln's been able to drive the ball.
Now here's Keogh dribbling across the timeline. Got caught in a spot you don't want to get caught in, and that's just across the timeline near the sideline, but he got it away. Lincoln stays man-to-man. Dowling is Omaha Ballou inside to the left. To the left block is Riggs, double team to kick it around. Now Stillwell dribble drives the lane, tries to hand it off to Riggs, stolen away by Lincoln. Here's the rails running. Klein leads the fast break, pull-up jumper, up good. Nate, and that's Badger with the basket. That's his fourth point. And it's 36-19. Lincoln scored 4 in a row. Now Dowling on the offensive end. It's Ballou with it beyond the three-point arc, out to Keogh. Lincoln stepping up their defensive intensity here, playing man-to-man. There's Stillwell, double team, looking for a cutter, and he throws it away. Tried to get it to Drew Daniel as an outlet, and Lincoln's defense has picked up its intensity and has forced a couple turnovers by Dowling.
Well, that tells you that the timeout probably had a difference on his team. I think that was probably a good timeout. They're really coming out now and getting after it a little bit more.
Well, don't you think it's starting with Ben Badger really getting out in the passing lanes? He's doing a great job pressuring the ball, and that's causing everybody to really get out defensively.
36-19, Dowling, and now Lincoln with the basketball. Cameron Young gets it over in the corner. A shot by Feller, no good from 15. Omaha Ballou the rebound. Outlet pass to Drew Daniel. Dowling running. Now they get it in the half court. Here's Ballou down the lane, over in the corner. Stillwell for 3, up, off the mark, no good. And the rebound, Lincoln and Andrew Klein. Maroons now 4 empty possessions. And now Lincoln in transition. Three-pointer, no good by Cameron Francis, and a rebound out to the Maroons.
That could have been a big shot, Mark. That would have cut this lead to 14, and you really would have felt like there was some momentum on Lincoln's side.
Dowling's only hit 1 3-pointer tonight, and here's Stillwell. Dribble drives, kicks it out to Ballou for 3. Good on the right wing. That is a second made 3 tonight for Dowling, and that's a Toomey and Sons 3-pointer for Omaha Ballou. That's his 5th point. Now we got a jump ball as Lincoln goes down court. Cameron Francis is tied up by, I believe, Stillwell or Keogh.
That's just a huge momentum killer for Lincoln. You give up a three, and then you come down, you turn the ball over, and now on a jump ball, Dowling's going to get possession, and now they're up 20 when it could have been a 14-point game.
Dowling led by 19 in the first half, and now they lead by 21. 4.5 minutes remaining, third quarter in this boys contest from the Roundhouse at Lincoln. Mark Amadale joining you tonight here on Iowa Catholic Radio, joined by the father-son duo of Mike Swain Sr. and Jr. is now steal by Lincoln. Badger with the steal, and now stolen back by Drew Daniel. So both teams trade turnovers here in the third quarter. 2 team fouls on Dowling, none on Lincoln. Now Riggs down the lane. His shot's no good. Drew the foul. That is certain mismatch anytime Ryan goes down. A foul will be on Feller, his first.
Lincoln's just all over Dowling now in their man-to-man. They're up inside of them so that when they put the ball on the floor, they're feeling the pressure. I think that it's probably a good move on the part of the Rails now.
Yeah, but that time Ryan Riggs wisely put the ball on the floor when he felt that pressure, and Lincoln's got to get some backside help there, step in and take a charge rather than put him on the line. I agree with you. They've got to try and create some turnovers here with 4 minutes to go in the third, and you're down 21.
Yep.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by R&R Realty Group, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Two Rivers Glass and Door, and Mercy One. Second free throw good, as both free throws good by Riggs. He now has 18 points tonight to lead Dowling. Maroons up 41-19 here in the third quarter. Rails break the full court press. And now what a save by Stillwell. Kept from going out of bounds after the entry pass to Crimmins. And Dowling with the ball after the turnover by Lincoln.
How about the hustle play by Matt Stillwell? I mean, going out of bounds and throws it to his teammate. Just a great play.
I think he knocked some of the senior pictures off the table over there in the baseline. Lincoln mascot taken to that. Now backdoor cut by Stillwell. His shot up and hangs in the rim, no good. Gets his own rebound and is fouled by Badger on the putback.
Dowling taking advantage of Lincoln's overplay, and a nice back cut that time by Stillwell, and an even better find by Michael Keogh.
3.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Stillwell to the free throw line for the Maroons. Dowling was 1 for 1 at the line in the first half. This will be their third attempt here in the third quarter. Free throw good by Stillwell. Matt with 12 points tonight. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, and Kemen. Reminder, Dowling's next game will be this Thursday night. Dowling hosting Southeast Polk. It'll be a 6:15 tip-off. Mike Swayman and I will be on the air at 6 o'clock, the pregame show from the Dowling Gym this Thursday. For Lincoln, their next game is at number 1 Ankeny Centennial, and a boys-only contest Friday night, and they'll tip off at 7:45 at Centennial High School in Ankeny. Now, Lincoln down court after they inbound the ball, and it's tipped away by Keogh. And we're going to see Stracco and Riedel check in for Keogh and Ballou in the Dowling rotation. Lynch also in there now for Dowling, as Riggs will stay in and Stillwell will stay in for the Maroons. Lincoln with the ball. Now here's Young. Dumps it inside to Feller. Now back out as Lincoln goes a 4-out, 1 in. A long three coming. No good by Crimmins. Rebound Dowling and Riedel.
There's just been no offensive rebounds for Lincoln tonight. The height just isn't there, and Dowling's done a good job of blocking out.
Well, at times Lincoln likes to take it inside, but then now they're starting to settle for outside shots or just jumpers, and Maroons have come away. Now entry pass by Stracco to Riggs, stolen away by Lincoln. Good hustle that time by the Rails with Badger on the steal. He'll launch the three. It's up and off the mark, no good. Offensive rebound by Cameron Young. It's put back up and good. That's the first offensive rebound tonight for Lincoln.
It started on the defensive end.
Young with his 7th point. 42-21. Dowling by 21 over Lincoln with 2.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Stillwell travels with the basketball. He tried to go around Cameron Young but couldn't blow by him, and then he ended up traveling with the basketball on that stutter dribble.
Yeah, just enough of the body there to knock Stillwell off, and he's still looking around at the ref saying, what did I do?
Go over there and ask Jay Floor. He's the one that called it. He'll tell you. Jay, an outstanding high school official, does college baseball and high school baseball, and does basketball here. Making his way down from Marshalltown, and now Lincoln dribbles baseline by Cameron Young and draws the foul. It'll be on Dowling. That might be on Lynch. So Andrew picks up his first foul. Check that, his second foul. And the Rails will inbound the ball. Ryan Rand in there right now for Lincoln for the first time. Ryan, a 6-foot junior. Comes in averaging 4 points. He's in right now for the Rails. Dowling stays man-to-man. 2 minutes remaining. Dowling by 21 over the Rails. Here's Feller. He'll launch the three right wing. It's no good. Rebound Riggs and Dowling. Lincoln settling for another three.
And Feller normally marked 38% on the year. Just has not been able to find it tonight.
I think Lincoln is below 20% with three-point shooting. And underneath, Stracco's shot partially blocked. Rebound out to Dowling, and Stillwell will reset. Matt on the dribble, right side. Between the circles, guarded by Rand. Out to Riggs. Top of the key, over to Stracco. Lincoln stays man-to-man. Dowling in no hurry. Possession arrow favors the Rail Splitters here in the third quarter, and the next dead ball. Underneath Stracco. He gets loose underneath. The shot up, no good. Might have been partially blocked that time by Cameron Young of Lincoln. Rebound Lincoln.
Well, sometimes you got to realize who your teammate is that's cutting to that basket. That time, not the time to give to Stracco against Young.
Yeah, sometimes that's an offensive responsibility. Stracco did his job. It's probably not the guy you want to get to. That was a height disadvantage. And underneath, Lincoln with the shot by Cameron Young. Did a little dipsy-do in the lane. It's no good, but the Rails get the rebound.
I thought they could either call a foul or a travel. Neither was called, but Lincoln will hang on to the ball.
I think Young lost the basketball. That's why it wasn't a travel. Now a shot no good by Badger and rebounded by Dowling and Riggs. So 40 seconds remaining. I think Dowling will try to hold for the last shot, leading 42-21 over Lincoln. Stracco beyond the timeline, gets it across to Riggs between the circles. Right side to Lynch. Lincoln stays man-to-man. Now they reverse the right side. Here's Stracco with it on the dribble. Guarded by Rand. Now to Riggs with 20 seconds remaining. Dowling in no hurry here, trying to get the last shot of the third quarter. Dowling 42, Lincoln 21 as we approach the 10-second mark. And here's Stillwell. See if it becomes off a ball screen. Riggs with the ball screen. Stillwell left side, spins in the lane, gets it over to Lynch for three. It's up and no good. Tip no good by Riedel, rebounded by Stillwell, but too late. And we've come to the end of the third quarter with that flurry with the score. Dowling 42 and Des Moines Lincoln 21, along with Mike Swaim Sr. and Mike Swaim Jr. I'm Mark Amadale from the Roundhouse at Lincoln, back in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Dowling Catholic Sports 365 is provided in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic with 2 licensed optometrists, Barbara Sheets, a Dowling Catholic graduate, and Dr. Todd Pedig. The Ashworth Vision Clinic team provides complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. Ashworth Vision Clinic is located at Ashworth and 60th Street in West Des Moines. 515-440-4610. Online at ashworthvision.com.
The Catholic Tuition Organization provides the best tax savings over any other charitable giving in the state. 65% of your contribution directly reduces your Iowa income tax liability. Plus, there are still federal deductibility options to further save on taxes. Find details online, ctoiowa.org. All this for the kids and their future.
The home and away voice of Dowling Catholic sports and activities, Iowa Catholic Radio. KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, KIHS Adel.
Thought I saw El Grazi.
And we're back here at the Lincoln Roundhouse. Underway here in the fourth quarter. Dowling with a 42-21 lead. Mark Amadale joined by Mike Swaim Sr. and Mike Swaim Jr. The Swaim family tonight sitting in here high atop Roundhouse here in the overhang press box as Lincoln with the basketball to start the fourth quarter. Francis now dribble handoff, and he gets it out to Nate Feller for three, and it's good. So
that was about 4 feet outside the three-point line.
Feller with his first three tonight. Now got traveling in the backcourt. Lincoln with full court pressure and forces Dowling into a turnover here, gentlemen.
Yeah, rare turnover for Dowling, but Lincoln with a three. See if they can capitalize here and get this thing to a 16-point game.
Well, they set a staggered screen for him to get that shot.
So Lincoln with the basketball after the Dowling turnover. Ben Badger with it in the right elbow. Now he hands it off to Feller, tries it back in against Ballou, has to kick it off the corner to Klein on the right side. Now to Feller, top of the key, it goes to Badger. He works the left side, dribble handoff to Cameron Francis. Dowling with a height advantage at every position. Now a steal, that hedge that you were talking about, Coach. Steal by Stillwell. Down court, Matt, his shot no good. Ballou with the offensive rebound, but he loses it out of bounds as he was battling Cameron Francis, and they say it went off Omaha to be Lincoln basketball.
I thought that actually was Omaha's ball, but nevertheless, it's going to go with Lincoln.
So the Rails in the front court. They have basically 4 out and nobody in. A long three. They settle for a long three by Feller. It's no good. Offensive rebound by Dowling and Michael Keel. Dowling back to their starting 5 with Michael Keel, Matt Stillwell, Ryan Riggs, Drew Daniel, and Omaha Ballou, the 5 on the floor for Dowling to start the fourth quarter. Here's Riggs, right block, double team, spins, kicks it over to Ballou for 3 in the corner. It's up and short. Ball slapped around and picked up by Lincoln and Ben Badger.
Lincoln again with another opportunity to get this thing to 16, a little bit more manageable, and that's a nice job by Badger there, leaning in on Stillwell.
And he scores. Badger will have an opportunity for an and one here. Ben got it loose in the lane. That's his 6th point of the night. Only his 2nd field goal. And he'll go to the free throw line for Lincoln with 6:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 42, Lincoln 26.
Lincoln's being much more aggressive on the defensive end. I think Dowling's got to start thinking about not settling for threes here and just take that ball to the basket.
Free throws good by Badger. Lincoln 5 for 5 at the free throw line. Dowling 4 of 5 at the free throw line. Pressure by Lincoln. Dowling across the timeline. Here's Ballou. And he'll hand it off to Michael Keel, who's guarded by Cameron Francis. Now to Riggs. Riggs in the lane. His shot no good. And Ballou wanted to tip it in, and he couldn't because the ball was above the cylinder. And a whistle and a loose ball foul on Drew Daniel after the rebound by Nate Feller of Lincoln.
Well, Lincoln dodged a bullet. And, so 6 minutes to go here. They're down 15. They can get this thing to 13. That's the closest they've been since probably early in the second quarter, Mark.
It was the second quarter. They were down 12 at about the 4-minute mark, or the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. Now the Rails will inbound the ball as Feller will throw it into Cameron Francis. In there for Lincoln, Cameron Young, Ben Badger, and Andrew Klein, the 5 on the floor. Here's Feller for 3. It's off the mark, no good from 3-point range. Right wing, rebound Dowling.
Lincoln can take some chances here, Mark. They've only got 2 team fouls. You're going to need to eventually put Dowling on the line anyway. So,
and how about that? Keel finds Ryan Riggs after he was caught, and Riggs shoots and scores.
And if you're Dowling, that's what you want to see, every possession down the floor.
Riggs with 20 points to lead the Maroons. 5:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Now inside, and Young's shot is blocked by Riggs. Down court, here's Ballou, and he'll flush it through. He's 1 for 2 tonight in dunks.
He's been waiting for that one.
He has been waiting for that. Good job running the floor.
And 7 points for Omaha Ballou, and now Lincoln responds. And that's a basket by Ben Badger. He's got 7 points, 7 of his 9 points here in the second half, and it's 46-29 Dowling. Under 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. And here's Riggs, has the ball stolen away. Nice job by Feller. Poked it away, and Feller goes in for the layup. And it's blocked by Ballou.
How about that block?
How about that? That reminds me of Duke, North Carolina. I'm the other way. Daniel slams it home. Oh, did I say Duke, North Carolina out loud?
We don't need to bring that up now.
Drew Daniel with the flush and his 4th point, and now Lincoln the other way with the missed shot, no good. Drew with the rebound.
Mark, Omaha Ballou just erased that shot, just and it threw it right off the glass.
I looked down at Coach Einerson of Lincoln, and Justin looked. Yeah, that was a block.
It
wasn't goaltending.
No, it was.
It didn't hit the backboard first. It was slapped into the backboard, and now the Maroons lose it out of bounds as Riggs was tied up in the lane, and they say it went off of Ryan, so it'll be turnover over to Lincoln.
Wow, good help that time by Francis.
Yeah, he came from all the way in the corner to pick up Riggs.
Can we use that as a highlight reel?
Oh, that's highlight. That was a fantastic block. And then we're not even talking about Drew Daniels' dunk on the other end. How about that?
Drew comes down, and Lincoln didn't pick him up, and he flushes it through. One deed deserves another good deed. 48-29 Dowling. We're in the lead back to 19 with 3:50 remaining. Substitution for Lincoln. Alex Crimmon's in there right now for the Rails, number 32. Long 3 up, no good by Badger. And a rebound to the Rails. as Feller comes away with it. Now Feller gets in the corner. His three-pointer no good. Rebound Lincoln and Crimmins. Dowling not blocking out. Dribble drive in the lane. Francis, his shot blocked by Ballou and out of bounds to Lincoln.
Boy, how about that luxury to have Omaha Ballou when they get by that first line of defense, and just to have him there to be able to swat balls away.
That was good body control on his part, too. He didn't go for the fake, and then when he did let go of the ball, he was right there.
Lincoln inbounds the ball. It's stolen away by Michael Keel. The inbounds pass intended for Ron Boston. Keel with the first layup. It's up and good. The basket will count, and a foul on Boston of Des Moines Lincoln.
Well, just when you thought this game might start to swing the other way, Lincoln with a chance to get it to 13. Dowling now up 21 with 3:27 and a chance to extend it to 22. So they sort of weathered that storm with authority, including a Drew Daniel dunk.
Well, with the Maroons and Matt Stillwell leading the team in steals, but Michael Keel is right behind him, and why wouldn't he be? The MVP of the state championship football game on defense, a hybrid linebacker / cornerback, and we just saw what he can do, and he hits the free throw for the and one. And he'll have a seat on the bench, so Keel leads with 3 points, and it's 51-29 Dowling. 3:15 remaining, fourth quarter. Rand in the lineup. Ryan Rand in the lane. His shot blocked by Drew Daniel. So Dowling with the rebound, and nothing inside for Lincoln tonight. That height differential has been tremendous. Ballou with it in the front court for Dowling. Guarded by Feller. Now too much dribbling. Finally gets it over to Stillwell. Back to Ballou. Dowling's just going to run some clock here. Lincoln stays man-to-man. Here's Stracco with it. Thinks about shooting a three. Now dribbles in the lane. Leaves it for Riggs. He'll launch the three right side, and it's good. Ryan Riggs with a corner three from the right side. And for Ryan, that's his fourth three of the season. To me, and Son's three-pointer.
Mark, he doesn't have many, but when he does shoot it, he's 50% on the year. So he's got pretty good odds.
Whistling a foul the other way on Dowling. It'll be on Stillwell, and that'll be his second. Coach, what do you think? The big guy brings it outside on a night like this and launches a three.
Well, it's a nice luxury to have.
You've had a few guys that did that here on this court and over at Des Moines Christian. I've seen that happen.
Well, we had a lot of good three-point shooters, but our big players really weren't three-point shooters. In fact, most of the time they were told not to shoot.
Now, so who was your three-point shooting coach in high school? We're still trying to figure out the Dowling dunk coach. We think it's Coach Nahas, one of the assistants. But who was your three-point shooting artist? On the team, who taught him how? It wasn't the guy next to you. I know better than that.
Well, we had Adam Daly, who
head coach at Roosevelt.
He was the second leading three-point percentage shooting.
He had pretty good efficiency.
Player in all of Division II.
Yes, he did in college.
And we never taught him a thing about shooting. It was all about what he could do on his own.
Well, he confided to me when Dowling played at Roosevelt earlier that, hey, I learned more from my college three-point shooting coach than Mike Swaim Jr. that could teach him. That was supposed to be off the record, but I guess it's on the record now. Is there any truth to that, Swaim?
No, it's all true. I actually coached him in junior high. He came back as an eighth grader. I'm like, where'd you find that stroke? And he was just stepping back and hitting it, Mark. I was like, boy, whatever. You need to teach me.
So the key is, has he taught any of his Roosevelt players how to shoot?
Well, we're going to find out here. We played them earlier, and they're going to sub-states 2 here next week. Fouls on Dowling's on Andrew Lynch's third. Free throws coming for Lincoln. While we were visiting up here, and the free throw is good by Feller. His first. He's now 3 for 3 at the line. He has 8 points. 54-30 Dowling. Second free throw good by Feller. 2:10 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling has this well in hand, 54-31 over Lincoln. Full court pressure by the rails. Stracco goes down court, tries to feed Lynch, and it's stolen away by Lincoln and Alex Crimmins, and now whistling a backcourt foul, I believe, on Stracco. And Lynch, or rather Crimmins, will go to the line.
Dowling's 8th team foul, so still a 1-and-1.
And we're going to see wholesale substitutions for both teams. As you mentioned, this will be a 1-and-1 coming up for Lincoln. Shooting the free throw will be Elijah Mooring, who just checked in for the Rails. As both head coaches, Justin Einertson in his 4th year here at Lincoln, emptying his bench, and Dowling's Michael Connor in his 14th year, just got his 200th victory here last week, emptying his bench. With 2:03 remaining, 54-31 Maroons. Dowling by 23. This has been their largest lead of the night. And the first free throw is up and in and out, no good by Mooring. Rebound, Dowling. Dylan Schmidt in there for Dowling, number 15. Gets it to Mikey Chase, who's in there for the Maroons. Also in there is Will Yerge. And now in the lane, pull-up jumper is no good by Schmidt. Rebound, Lincoln. Rails in transition. Here's Ron Boston. And his shot might have been partially blocked that time by Jack Redicke, out of bounds. And
they're going to say Dowling ball.
It slipped out of his hands.
Yeah, I think it just slipped out of Boston's hand.
Yep. So Maroons inbound it. This is Mikey Chase in the backcourt, guarded by Ron Boston. Redicke in the front court. Gets it over to Will Yerge. Maroons playing catch in the perimeter with Mikey Chase. He dribbles the baseline. His shot up, no good. They're going to wave it off. Charging foul on Chase. A nice job by Lincoln and Dominic Chapale drawing the charge.
Yeah, good help defense that time. Got set.
Player control foul, 41, Mikey Chase.
So Chase picks up the foul, and that's a player control foul. It'll be no shooting. 19 foul on Dowling, 3 on Lincoln with 1:20 remaining. Mooring in the front court. Elijah now guarded by Dylan Schmidt. Gets it over to Cameron Amos, who checked in for Lincoln, number 34. Amos gives it to Boston. Down the lane he goes, and he loses out of bounds. It'll be Dowling basketball in the final 65 seconds of this contest here at the Lincoln Gym. 54-31 Dowling. Maroons are going to win their 6th in a row. Lincoln's going to lose 3 of their last 4 games. Is in the lane, a shot no good. Rebound shot put back up and in by Jack Redicke.
A good job by Gregory there. Gets a good offensive board and a little putback.
Imagine Gregory and Yerge and Bialjak's not in there right now, going up against the likes of Omaha Ballou and Drew Daniel and that guy named Riggs.
Well, there's a lot of height on Dowling. Even Dowling's bench has height. I mean, these guys, they're just 6'5" guys everywhere.
You heard our PA announcer, Todd Guessford, down at the PA. Mentioned Boston shoots and scores for Lincoln, and now Dowling guilty of the travel on the other end. Gregory traveling with the basketball.
Well, it's nice to see the guys coming off the bench here at the end of the game, and they're all playing just as hard as the guys that were in before them, and they're also running their offense.
That's the big thing. Here's Boston down the lane, left-handed layup, good. Ron Boston with back-to-back 2-pointers, now traveling the backcourt on Dowling by Dylan Schmidt, and Ron Boston had a lot to do with that.
Well, yeah, Elijah Morning there too. Good defense by him, forces the turnover. So Lincoln with an opportunity with 10 seconds here to get maybe the last basket of the game.
Rails will inbound the ball. They get it to Mooring. Back to Boston, and they're going to wave off the shot. A foul on Dowling. This will be the 10th team foul on Dowling, so 2 shots on the double bonus. The foul will be on Bialzak.
How about the defensive effort again, Mark? So even if Lincoln scores 2 here, they're going to be held under 40 by this Dowling team. And this is a team that held Ames to 24, Mason City in the 40s. I mean, the defense just has been outstanding.
Certainly has. Both free throws no good by Lincoln. Rebound Dowling and Gregory. It over to Chase. Final seconds, and that'll do it. 56-35 the final, as the Dowling boys improve their record now to 14-6. They've now won 6 in a row with the win over Des Moines Lincoln, 56-35. Lincoln falls to 12-8, and the Rails head to number 1 Ankeny Centennial on Friday. For Dowling, they have a Thursday game coming up. We'll have it on Iowa Catholic Radio as they host Southeast Polk at the Dowling Gym. They'll tip off at 6:15. We'll go on the air at 6 o'clock. Well, gentlemen, what a night we saw. A lot of things we talked about, and we'll come back and see if we got any answers for some of the questions that we had before the game. We'll take a break and come back with our post-game show. Again, the final, Dowling defeats Lincoln 56-35 here at the Roundhouse Des Moines Lincoln. For Mike Swaim Sr. and Mike Swaim Jr., I'm Mark Amadale. Our thanks to Jeff Piggott. our studio producer. And we'll be back with the postgame show in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Thank you, Construction Professionals, for your support of Dowling Catholic Sports 365. Construction Professionals is a family-owned business dedicated to our customers. Whether designing, building, or renovating, we are here to better serve you. Our passion for quality craftsmanship, paired with our dedication to creativity, result in a home that reflects your personality, style, and family function. Construction Professionals. Design, build, renovate. cpcustomhomes.com. From our family to yours, God bless.
Thank you, Dental Associates, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365. With over 40 years' experience, Dental Associates is a group dental practice with the mission of promoting optimum health and well-being to all patients, providing preventative, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry for the entire family. Message underwritten by Dr. Kenton Gleichman, Dr. Steve Karbaka, Dr. Christine Mulcahy, and Dr. Ben Nagel. Dental Associates, addressing your smile, needs, and dreams. Online at Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com.
Hey, we're back here at the Des Moines Lincoln Roundhouse. Mark Amadillo joined tonight by Mike Swaim Sr. and Mike Swaim Jr. Glad you could make it up the skywalk. I don't think you guys have had to come up here too often. There might have been some loose basketballs that maybe you were missing when you took your basketball count before practice at time. I don't know if you ended up here for whatever reason, but you guys haven't been up here in a while, I bet.
It's the Tamia and Sons skybox. How about that, Mark? You saw that, right? Not only are they sponsoring the three Tamia and Sons skybox.
I thought Mario was sneaking up on me from behind here when you said that. It's like, oh my goodness! But wasn't a whole lot of three-pointers tonight.
Not a lot.
Tamia and Sons. Lincoln had a few, but we want to thank Tamia and Sons, 1501 Southeast 1st Street, Des Moines. Mario, Joe Jr., and Louie. And catering available. You can call them or go online, tamiandsons.net. Mike Sr., you've been there a time or two. You know the family. They do a great job. And I like it when Mario likes to interject. He likes to talk football sometimes, too. And I know that's kind of outside your comfort zone.
Not interested in that. We're interested in eating.
Oh, eating. Oh, that. Well, they specialize in that,
They
too.
do that's well. They do that well.
Well, tonight, Dowling with the win. The Maroons led at halftime 32-13 and went on to defeat Lincoln 56-35 and move on to the next game, and that'll be Thursday night for Dowling. And Coach Swaim, let's break this down. Some of the things we talked about beforehand, answers here in the postgame show. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I think Dowling is well poised to move on. They showed tonight that it didn't make any difference who they were playing. They came out ready to play. They came out and played hard-nosed defense the entire game. I thought they had a great team concept as well. They were looking for the open guy. Mike and I were just talking a minute ago. I'm not sure what happens when they have to come up against a big post player, because they didn't have to do that tonight.
Correct.
So it makes a big difference when they can just keep firing the ball into Riggs, and he was outstanding tonight. So what happens when all of a sudden we have to go up against a bigger guy, especially defensively? Do we have the help that can help Riggs out on the post and still get back to our man? But I think Dowling is well poised to hit the state tournament and maybe make some noise.
Well, they're going to have a pretty difficult sub-state. They're the number 2 seed in the Dowling sub-state you're talking about, is Council Bluffs Lincoln with one loss. Not to an Iowa team, that was to a Nebraska team, and they've got a pretty nice record. Losing one game this year. I think they're 19-1 or 18-1 headed in tonight with their second to last regular season game. They're ranked 8th, and that'll be in the bottom bracket for Dowling. But the Maroons got to come away. They're going to face in their first round either Lewis Central or Council Bluffs Jefferson. I'm guessing, Mike Swaim, it'll be Lewis Central with the better record, as Lewis Central will face Dowling. It'll be a week from this Friday night.
Yeah, it's interesting that Dowling went west this year with Council Bluffs, and normally, Coach O'Connor, since he's been here, I don't remember a situation where they've had to do that. Your opening opponent typically is somebody that you've played before. There's some familiarity there, and this is going to be different. Dowling has not played any of these Council Bluffs teams this year, so that'll be somewhat of a challenge. But this team can play with anybody. They've proven that. They're the only team that has beat number 1 Centennial this year. And granted, Centennial got the revenge game up at Ankeny when we did that one, Mark. But, you got to look back at that and say, Ryan Riggs was, maybe 50%? I mean, he could barely get up and down the floor that game. And by the way, Dowling led going into that fourth quarter. So they've got a great opportunity. And as long as they stay healthy and will execute the game plan, and I think we've all touched on it tonight, the ball's got to go inside, and then, inside out. Take the threes when you can, but don't rely on the threes. And if they can continue to do that and play defense like they have been playing in this stretch so far, Dowling's got a great opportunity in front of them.
Got a comment here on the on some of your friends that were sitting below us. It's like watching Des Moines Christian play the Pella Dutch, too small. Did they mean something by that? Remember those days? You guys played Pella at Des Moines Christian? Is that true?
Well, no, we scrimmaged Pella with
Mr. Corver.
Yeah, well, yeah, with Corver.
Nice job out of you guys.
That's right. Well, yeah, that was that was he put on a show. That's for sure. But no, we had some height at Des Moines Christian. Sean Sonderlader at 6'9", and Adam Daly at 6'5", and we
had two players on the bench that were 6'8" that didn't get in that much.
Yeah. So
my gosh, too much talent, too much height.
Too much height.
Coach Anderson wants to use a couple of those post players. Maybe you didn't use that. He'd like to use them here.
Yeah, you can never have too much talent. And it's funny that those two guys who are commenting about height.
I noticed that.
Neither one of those guys should be talking about height.
That's true, and they don't. They're weight room specialists now, I think, in the off season. Do you know that? Weight room specialists.
Well, putting the weights away, right? They put them away.
I'll hear about that tomorrow. I'll give them your number. Oh, they already have it. Never mind. Again, the final tonight, Dowling 56 and Lincoln 35. Mark Amadale joined by the Swain family, Mike Sr. and Mike Jr., former coaches here at Des Moines Lincoln. I'm looking forward to that ceremony, whether it's going to be a scoreboard named after you, one of the backboards, maybe a portion of the stairwell, and as you said, maybe the concession stand. I'm looking forward to that day when they indoctrinate your name here sometime. I mean, you did go to state tournament a few times. I remember being there covering you.
Yeah, no, this place brings back a lot of great memories. I was in third grade when I came to my first basketball camp right here in the Roundhouse, put on by John Carl.
Of course.
So a lot of great memories.
Of course.
It was fun to be back here and see this team. And again, congratulations to Lincoln for winning the conference again
Absolutely.
This year. That's just a huge accomplishment, and certainly we wish Lincoln going forward good luck in the tournament as they move on.
Coach Anderson's done a great job kind of rebuilding the program, and it's kind of fallen in hard times. And when he took over, and I know I had a conversation with him, I says, hey, do you know what you're getting into, and all the things that led to him deciding, hey, I want to interview. He went 1-21 back in 2016 and 17, 5-18 the second year, 11-12 last year. And this year, he's got his first winning season, and right now they're 12-8 after the loss tonight. And it takes time to build that foundation, and in this case, rebuild it. And why wouldn't you in this, this place? Because this is the mecca of high school basketball, at least in the city of Des Moines, the Roundhouse, Coach Swain.
Great facility and a great tradition here at Lincoln High School. And, the people on the south side of Des Moines really come out to support Lincoln. And, it doesn't make any difference whether they're winning or losing. People just love Lincoln High School that have grown up on the south side of Des Moines, just like people that, went to Dowling 50 years ago love Dowling High School. That's just the way it is. So,
and some love both.
Yes, they do. I actually coached at both. You didn't know that, probably.
I did too.
Oh, did you?
Not at the varsity level, but here at Lincoln, I was a freshman coach. We had 70 kids out. We had to hire a C coach to coach the freshmen. And, those numbers you don't see like that anymore. And I had a few years with Coach Nahas and Labone as a sophomore coach at Dowling. So I've had both Lincoln and Dowling, and I just grew up over here about 10 blocks. You guys were around here at one time, weren't you?
Right off of Florida.
Right by Brody.
Then what happened? What happened, Swamer?
Well, I went to college. Next thing I know, my parents moved to West Des Moines. I had no choice in it. I don't even know what happened.
They were trying to tell you and your brothers, hey, we're moving. Try to find us, because they wait for you guys all and your sister to get out of the house.
I didn't know if we could find our way back to Lincoln when they hired us after we moved to West Des Moines.
Well, I know, Coach, the search committee, they prodded you, and you mentioned the great story about Andy Howard, the former Des Moines East coach, now helping at Norwalk, and how he came over to welcome you. They were after you, and why wouldn't they be? We knew it. It's like, what's going on? And I know you were waiting on what are they trying to tell us? They want everybody to leave. Lights are going off here.
That's Coach Chia saying, I want to get home. Let's move this show along.
Or that's Roberta Nigro saying the same thing.
That could be, too.
Probably Roberta.
That's right.
But, all right. Well, listen, we're going to take a break, come back. We'll recap scoring before they really turn all the lights out here at Lincoln. Our final score tonight, the Dowling boys, a winner 56-35 over Lincoln. Maroons improved to 14-6 on the year. Lincoln falls to 12-8. Back with more postgame and our final break here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio's broadcast of Dowling Catholic sports and activities is provided by Kemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world. Kemin is on the leading edge of molecular science, manufacturing more than 500 specialty ingredients for the human and animal health and nutrition, pet food, aquaculture, nutraceutical, food technologies, crop technologies, and textile industries. Kemin strives to sustainably transform the quality of life every day for 80% of the world with their products and services. Kemin, using science to transform the world. Online at kemin.com.
Thank you to Mercy One for their support of Iowa Catholic Radio. From the cardiovascular experts at the Iowa Heart Center to the pediatric services of Mercy Children's Hospital and Clinics, Mercy provides complete care for Central Iowa's adults and children with more than 50 primary care and specialty clinics in the Des Moines area. Find a convenient Mercy One location near you. Online at mercydesmoines.org.
Hey, welcome back to the Roundhouse here at Des Moines Lincoln for the final time as the Dowling boys a winner tonight on the road. What a three-game road trip it was for the Maroons. Started last week, Mike, with the win at Des Moines North. Came down to a last-second basket, 84-83, the Dowling boys winning, and then going to Ames on Friday, 48-24 win by Dowling up in Ames. And tonight a win here over Des Moines Lincoln, 56-35. And well, I'd say it's all been defense, but it was defense at the right times as the Maroons did give up 83 points to a Des Moines North team who can shoot lights out, especially when they're at home, as we all know.
Yeah, that was an odd game, and not to mention the 61 fouls and 37 free throws shot by each team. And so I just want to compliment our referees tonight. They did a great job. Veteran crew. And,
Jay Flora, Tom Fetkether, and Tom Norland.
Yeah, this is how a basketball game should be. But I will tell you this: Dowling has done really well on the road, Mark, this year, and they have been as comfortable as can be. Most of their losses have come at home, actually.
That's right.
And so Dowling's been sort of road warriors, and they're going to host Southeast Polk. I think it's important for them to come back out and, again, keep playing, keep on this roll, because they're going to have a week off, and then they're going to play an opponent they haven't seen. So get on a roll here, close this thing out against Southeast Polk, and then get ready for tournament time.
Indeed. Southeast Polk tonight on the road at number 10, Indianola, and we haven't got an update there, but it'll be Dowling and Southeast Polk. And again, it's Thursday. If you look at the Dowling schedule, it says it's Friday. That should be changed tomorrow to be Thursday. We'll be on the air at 6 o'clock this Thursday night, Dowling hosting Southeast Polk boys only, and that's because the Southeast Polk wrestling team and Dowlings are both the state wrestling tournament, but Polk's got a lot at stake. I think 12 or 13 of their 14 wrestlers qualified for state, so they've got a lot going, and they all want to be down there supporting them on Friday. Thus, we're moved up a day. Lincoln boys team, they'll be at number 1 Centennial this Friday night, and they'll tip off at 7:45. That'll be their last regular season game. And next week, gentlemen, it's the postseason, and that's when practices get interesting. Scouting. Remember all those days, Coach Swain, putting all that together? It's like, yeah, we got to get through this last regular season game, but Monday night we have our big tournament game, and all that kind of comes into play.
There really was no pressure on the head coach. The assistant coach is the one that puts the scouting reports together.
So you had not him, but the other assistant.
Oh, no. This guy right here. He's the one that put it all together.
Oh, what a train wreck. You can't. Now you're telling everybody that. Now it all comes out. So he really wasn't doing any coaching. He was just in front of a film projector breaking down scouting.
No, then he took over every game after we got ready to play it. So it was his scouting report. End of the game, I just sat there and watched him.
So you're telling me the reason you got to stay at Des Moines Christian and at Des Moines Lincoln was to the guy next to you?
I'm telling you that.
I don't know what he's got.
That's the truth.
Is that a Central College football thing he's got? What is that T-shirt?
Oh, this is
Oklahoma football.
I expect he'll buy me lunch tomorrow.
Mark, I figured if I couldn't go wrong if I wore maroon here tonight. So
no, you could.
I graduated from Dowling and coached at Lincoln, so I got best of both worlds.
And we're in the To Me and Sons press box apparently, as I see the sign behind you. I didn't even realize it was there.
Yeah.
Mario never say anything to us about that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good place to eat. Take out.
No question.
Well, Mark, I want to thank you for inviting me out tonight. I usually listen occasionally to you guys, and to be able to see a game and watch you guys work back and forth has been a real treat for me. Thank you.
How's that been to sit at home and listen while you're watching TV and doing the sound down or whatever you and your lovely bride are doing? Listen to us really on a Friday or Tuesday night. That's got to be painful.
Well,
sometimes.
I usually critique your partner just a little bit, and
let him know during Thanksgiving and Christmas.
But I only text it. I text him during the game. I'm just trying to give him some positive encouragement. I know the rest of the people that text him don't. So
that's for sure. I've seen a few of those tonight.
I do get positive texts unless I mention Duke, North Carolina. Then it gets a little ugly. But I'm not going to even talk about North Carolina
all year.
Yeah, please don't.
But I did get into it with O'Hare at Ames last week. You know, he's a big North Carolina
I know
guy.
he is. I know.
And well, this guy here, I mean, he was with the General way back when. He's got to have some Duke alliances somewhere in there, right?
He's got a lot of it.
That's right.
It's got to be there.
I got the right swing now. Well, guys, thank you both for being here. I'm going to run down the scoring, but appreciate it. You know your way out of here, right?
I think we can find it.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
I'll see you Thursday, Mike.
All right,
Mike. Well, Catholic Radio, I want to thank them both for being part of our broadcast here at Lincoln. And let's run down the scoring, and then we will sign off and be back on Thursday night. For Dowling Catholic, the leading scorer for the Maroons was Ryan Riggs, 12 points for Matt Stillwell. They were 2 Maroons in double figures. 7 points for Omaha Ballou. Rounding out scoring for Dowling, 4 points for Drew Daniel, 3 points for Michael Keogh, and 2 points each for Jack Gredicke and for Joe Stracco. And Simon Daniel off the bench with the 3-pointer as the Maroons went 5 of 6 at the free throw line in the contest. For Des Moines Lincoln, they had 2 players that led them in scoring. 9 points for Nate Feller and 9 points for Ben Badger. Badger averaging 17.5 points and Feller averaging 14.5. Both held to 9 points by the Maroons. 7 points for Cameron Young. 6 points for Cameron Francis, and 4 points for Ron Boston for Lincoln. Rail Splitters went 7 of 10 at the free throw line. And the scores tonight, Dowling jumped out to an 18-8 first quarter lead, outscored Lincoln 14-5 in the second quarter. Dowling led 32-13 at the half. Maroons outscored Lincoln 10-8 in the third quarter. Dowling had a 42-21 lead going into the fourth quarter, and both teams played to a 14-14 tie in the fourth quarter, and the Maroons win it 56-35 over Des Moines Lincoln. Dowling now leads the series over Lincoln 11-3, and the Maroons now have a last year, Lincoln defeated Dowling 57-55 at Dowling, snapping a 5-game win streak in this series, but the Maroons a winner tonight. And for Des Moines Lincoln, their record falls to 12-8. They are the Central Conference champs, the record of 8-2. And their next game, will be this Friday night at number 1 Ankeny Centennial, and that'll be a tip-off at 7:45 at the Centennial Gym. And they'll open up sub-state play next Monday. They'll host Mason City at 7 o'clock here at the Roundhouse, and the winner of that game will face and travel to number 6 Waukee on Friday, February 28th. For Dowling Catholic, their next game will be our next broadcast here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Dowling hosting Southeast Polk. That'll be this Thursday, February 20th. 6:15 tip-off. We'll go on the air at 6 o'clock Thursday night in a boys-only contest. And the Maroons will have about 8 days off. They're in Sub-State 8 in Class 4A, and they will take on the winner of Council Bluffs Jefferson and Lewis Central. That game will be played this Monday night, February 24th, and the winner of that game will travel to Dowling on Friday, February 28th, and we'll have that game at 7 o'clock from the Dowling Gym. Again, that'll wrap up our broadcast tonight. I want to thank everybody here at Des Moines Lincoln, including their athletic director, Phil Chia, and his staff, Roberta Nigro, Heidi Evans. Appreciate all their help. Head coach Justin Einerson and his staff. And reminder, our next broadcast will be this Thursday night, February 20th. Dowling hosting Southeast Polk. Pre-game at 6 o'clock, tip-off 6:15 right here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our thanks to everybody involved, including our studio producer, Jeff Piggott, and the executive director of Iowa Catholic Radio is Tony Calumet. We want to thank them for all they do, and including our business underwriters and supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio's broadcast of Dowling Catholic Sports in our 43rd year. Once again, this is Mark Amadeo for Mike Swaim Sr. and Mike Swaim Jr. from the Roundhouse at Des Moines Lincoln. The final score for the final time tonight, Dowling boys a 56-35 winner over Des Moines Lincoln. The Maroons now improve their record to 14-6 in the season, while Lincoln falls to 12-8 until Thursday night. And for our studio producer, Jeff Piggott, we'll talk to you Thursday night. This is Mark Amadeo thanking you for tuning into our broadcast tonight here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Until then, have a safe and blessed, faith-filled evening.
Our coverage of Dowling Catholic High School basketball is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Kemen, Mercy One, and Tamia & Sons. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio on 1150 AM, 88.5 FM, 94.5 FM, streaming at iowacatholicradio.com and on the Iowa Catholic Radio app. The proceeding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.